Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newstrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. The one question that's been asked again and again and again since the Mewat mayhem broke out is who are the people who can be seen on top of buildings, on top of mountains, throwing stones at the yatra as it passes on the road below. The Haryana police is looking for them. Everyone in the country is wondering who they are. So we sent our team of reporters to the areas where the riots broke out. I told them to go up on the mountains from where the stones could be flung. Some of those stones being flung caught on camera at that time, and those videos now doing the rounds on social media. Our investigative reporters were shocked to find that many of the rioters and their family members are actually hiding on the hills. They're hiding on the hills. They have beds, they have tarpaulins, they've made out small shelters in which they're hiding. They keep an eye on the police as they come in, they run away. Remember, these are rioters the Haryana police is looking for. Everyone wants to get to them and find out what happened and why. The police so far hasn't been able to find them. But India Today's crack team of special investigative journalists have been able to hunt down some of the rioters who were flinging stones from mountaintops, flinging stones from the top of buildings. They have been caught in this big India Today exclusive that's coming up for the first time on the Newstrack.
As cops hunt for the communal mob, India Today reaches rioters' hideout. Up in the hills, just outside New, from where the first stones flew. Join us where nobody dares to go. From firing spot to hiding place. Rioters' Hill hideout revealed. Big focus on Newstrack.
Our investigative reporters clearly on a roll this week. They've found now the hideout of several of these rioters. The Haryana police not able to get there, but India Today has reached their hideout. We will take you to their hilltop hideouts. Before that, here's a look at the headlines today. Delhi's services bill passed in the Lok Sabha. Home Minister Amit Shah accuses the opposition of uniting on the issue to try and defeat Modi in 2024. AAP MP Sushil Kumar Rinku suspended for the entire session. It's a big India Today impact. FIR filed against 3 social media influencers after our investigation exposed the online hate in the new riots. 20 hate video links are being traced for provoking these riots. Fresh clashes erupt in Manipur. Forces and Meitei protesters clash in Bishnupur. Chili spray, bullets and tear gas are fired.
There's a massive confrontation taking place here. The bullets being fired. This is the massive confrontation taking place. Stone pelting.
Allahabad High Court gives the nod for ASI survey at the Gyanvyapi Mosque complex. Muslim side moves the Supreme Court to challenge the order. Fresh trouble for wrestling chief and BJP MP Brij Bhushan Singh. Green Court orders probe against him in the illegal sand mining case. India Today has accessed videos that show how stones were pelted from the hills surrounding the Nalhar Mahadev temple. Now, on the Newstrack, we're going to take you up those hills just outside Nuh, from where the stones were being flung. From the firing spot to the hiding place. India today goes where nobody else has dared to go. We will reveal the current hideout of the rioters. This is where the Haryana police should be tonight to catch the rioters who are hiding in the hills. The Haryana police hasn't got there, but Mohammad Hizbullah from the India Today Special Investigation Team and Arvind Ojha, our crime editor, managed to reach the rioters' hill hideout. This is a big India Today exclusive.
Gunshots pierced through. Hails of stones came down like missiles. Attackers took a vantage point in the Aravalli hills above as the VHP's Braj Mandal Yatra passed on its route below on Monday in Haryana's New. India Today on an arduous journey to find out who seized the towering peaks to rain down bullets and stones on the July 31 procession. The warm hues of the rising sun, the lush greenery, the ridges, the gentle breeze, and the chirping birds told us a hidden story. Men you see sleeping here aren't on leisurely excursions. We discovered that they have transformed these hills around Nu into a strategic cover. Local villagers escaping arrests, along with suspected rioters. Their face covered, these young men sitting with fellow villagers explained to us why they are staying put in these vast, rugged terrains.
ये आप लोग इतने मतलब पहाड़ों में क्यों छुपे हुए हैं?
भाई पुलिस के डर के मारे छुपे पड़े हैं पहाड़ों में।
क्यों ऐसा क्या कर दिया कि पुलिस के डर के मारे छुपे हुए हैं?
पुलिस आती है उठा ले जाते हैं, ये भी ना पूछती तुम गए वहाँ ना गए, आती है उठा ले।
कहाँ?
गांव में आती है हमारे में।
तो कहाँ नहीं गए मतलब?
जो ये जो ये दंगाई आए थे ये।
अच्छा अच्छा।
जो वहाँ चला गया वो भी, जो ना गए वो भी, सब अपने इधर उधर हैं।
नहीं तो पूरे गांव के कितने, सारे गांव के लोग पहाड़ों में?
गाँव निकलो पड़ा है जो ये यहाँ पे गाँव में है जो।
अच्छा।
कोई कहीं चला गया, कोई कहीं चला गया पुलिस के डर की वजह से।
तो पूरे पहाड़ों में कितने लोग हैं अभी?
तकरीबन होंगे 500 आदमी।
500 लोग पूरे पहाड़ों में हैं?
हाँ।
For these residents of Nu, the surrounding Aravalli range is serving as their mountain refuge. In response to an ever-looming spectre of arrests and police crackdown in the aftermath of Monday's mayhem in the district. But the new resident also admitted that suspected rioters have mingled with innocent civilians taking shelter in the hills over fears of mass arrests. Listen in to him again.
जो वहाँ चला गया वो भी, जो ना गए वो भी, सब अपने इधर उधर हैं। पुलिस आती है उठा ले जाते हैं, ये भी ना पूछती तुम गए वहाँ ना गए, आती है उठा ले।
In the FIR, police have mentioned that some of the locals descended from the mountains, carrying illegal arms, lathis and stones to disrupt religious service at a local temple. Videos of purported gunshots and stones hurled from the same heights on Monday have also surfaced. Vigilant gazes cast downward, eyes trained on the lands below. The men spotted a speeding convoy of police cars from afar.
नहीं तो फिर आप लोग पहाड़ों में ही क्यों आए, मतलब कहीं और भी जा सकते थे?
इस वजह से है, जैसे अभी पुलिस की गाड़ी जा रही है, यहाँ से हमें पता पड़ जाते है गाड़ी आ रही है, अपने साइड में हो जाते हैं।
2-3 बस
देखो ये कितनी गाड़ी जा रही है, ये 10-12 गाड़ी जा रही है, वो जा रही है, बस है जहाँ मन मारे वही छापा मार रहे।
अच्छा, ये पुलिस की गाड़ियाँ जा रही जो वाइट बस जाती है?
3-4 बस हैं, 7-8 गाड़ी हैं, इसी के डर की वजह से डूब का पड़ा है यहाँ पे।
For these people, it's their makeshift encampment. Black tarpaulin sheets lay casually, ready to be used as cover for the night. Like ants in a procession, more villagers can be seen ascending the hills. Their silhouettes grew more defined with each step.
यहाँ बेसिकली जितने भी पहाड़ों में जो लोग हैं वो सब के सब आप ही के गांव के हैं?
नहीं, हमारे गांव के भी हैं, साथ में ये गांव है, अगला गांव में, हर गांव में से जैसे भी कहीं से 10 हैं, कहीं से 5 ऐसे चढ़ जाते हैं, डर की वजह से, जैसे कहीं का भी हिर लगता है।
तो ये कब से आप लोग चढ़े हुए हैं पहाड़ों पे?
यहाँ में होगा 2-3 दिन है आज।
नहीं तो इसके ऊपर भी और लोग बैठे हुए हैं?
जहाँ तक ये हर आदमी अपना बचाव करेगा और ऊपर चले जाएंगे, अगर जब भी और ऊपर चढ़ गए भैया पकड़ के ले जाएंगे, आखिरी हथियारी और कुछ
नहीं। तो क्या इसके ऊपर भी लोग बैठे हुए हैं क्या?
हाँ, बैठे हैं, जगह जगह बैठ जाते हैं। अब जैसे यहाँ बैठे हैं, वहाँ बैठ जाते हैं और ऊपर चले जाते हैं। हाँ, अगर पुलिस ना है तो अपने यहीं बैठे रहेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, हमें किसी से कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
We now investigate in the violence-hit villages in the lap of the Aravalis below. Rafiq is president of Noos Sarpanch Association. He admitted that young men from his village did participate in looting and rioting, and that they all have fled.
5-6-7 बच्चे हैं मेरे गांव के, हैं मेरे गांव के, नहीं है मेरे गांव के, हैं मेरे गांव के बच्चे, और एक अच्छी की बच्चे थे। मैं ऐसे नहीं तुमको रोकूंगा, तुम कहूँगा नहीं, मैं पैर भी करूँगा, आगे चल के दूंगा उनको।
लूटपाट में या दंगे हैं? लूटपाट में या दंगे?
नहीं, इसमें झगड़े में हैं
वो लोग। अभी हैं मुलाकात किसी हो सकती है ऐसे ही गाँव में?
नहीं हो सकती, वो तो निकल लिए सब।
किस उम्र के बच्चे हैं
वो? तो उनकी उम्र 25-25, 20-20 साल की, 18 साल की, 22 साल की, इस तरीके से।
बाइक के जो मुश्किल आई हुई है,
हाँ, उनमें मेरे गाँव के साथ 2-3 बच्चे हैं। जो चीज़ है 2-3 बच्चे बाइक में हैं, बाकी दंगे में 5-6-7 बच्चे हैं जो मेरे गाँव में।
A local eyewitness to the Monday rioting, Irfan claimed some rioters arrived from Rajasthan on the Yatra day, some from within New district.
तो उनकी गाड़ी में टक्कर मारी थी पिकअप से।
किसने मारी?
वो पिकअप गाड़ी आई थी, वहाँ 7 या 8 गाड़ी थी, फिरोजपुर साइड से आई थी वो, राजस्थान से।
ये लोग कौन लोग
थे वो सारे?
यहाँ कब थे वो लोग?
वो तो बाद में आए, जहाँ पे जब झगड़ा हुआ ना, वो आए हैं, तुरंत झगड़ा स्टार्ट हो गया, उससे पहले नहीं आए थे वो। इसी टे पॉइंट पर आकर तो उन्होंने ट्रेन की गाड़ी वाड़ी में टक्कर मारी।
किनकी?
तो वाले जो उनकी गाड़ी में टक्कर मारी थी पिकअप से।
Culpability rests heavy on both sides. Not all hiding in these hills could be culprits. Not all could be innocent either. A challenge for the Haryana police to sift out the guilty from the mass of villagers sheltering in the Aravali peaks. A report by Mohammad Hizbullah for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
When I heard this story in the morning, I was quite shocked that some of the rioters and their family members are actually hiding in these hills. And I wonder why the Haryana police can't go and pick them up. You saw those convoys or those vehicles, the Haryana police coming, the rioters see them, they inform each other, they run away. It is mountainous terrain, so it's not very easy to move around, but surely if the India Today crews can get to these mountain tops, then so can Mr. Khattar's police. Why aren't they doing their job? I want to go across at this moment to Arvind Ojha, a crime editor. Mohammad Hezbollah is from the India Today Special Investigation Team. He's the one who went up first to do this. I want to go across to Arvind because he was there in the evening on these mountaintops speaking to these people. The biggest question, of course, is, Arvind, अगर इंडिया टुडे की क्राइम और इन्वेस्टिगेशंस टीम इन पहाड़ों पे पहुंच सकती है, वो बता रहे हैं कि हमें मालूम है दंगाई कौन है, यहीं पे हैं, बाकी परिवार वाले भी आए हुए हैं, हम लोग यहाँ पे छिपे हैं पहाड़ों के ऊपर, तो यहाँ पे तो पुलिस की टीम होनी चाहिए. पुलिस कहाँ पे है? हम लोग तो वहाँ पे, पुलिस कहाँ है?
नहीं, अब राहुल ऐसा लगता है कि अब जब हमारी स्पेशल इन्वेस्टिगेटिव टीम की ये खुलासा देखने के बाद अब बहुत मुमकिन है कि हरियाणा पुलिस की आंख खुले और जो कल पुलिस इन पहाड़ों पर जाए. लेकिन अभी तक जो तमाम विलेज हैं उन विलेज में रेड हो रही है. यहाँ ये समझने वाली बात होगी कि जो जहाँ इस वक्त मैं मौजूद हूँ यहाँ से वॉयलेंस ज़्यादा स्पीड पकड़ा, लेकिन यहाँ जैसे ही नूह में वॉयलेंस की शुरुआत होती है यहाँ से 20 किलोमीटर 30 किलोमीटर के दायरे में वॉयलेंस शुरू हो जाती है. तो वो कैसे? वो इन्हीं पहाड़ों पर जो लोग अभी छुपे हुए हैं जिनको इंडिया टुडे ने एक्सपोज किया है, इनमें से ज़्यादातर लोग वही हैं, क्योंकि कुछ लोग राइटिंग में शामिल थे, वो दंगे कर रहे थे, तो कुछ लोग इस राइटिंग के बहाने लूटपाट कर रहे थे, दुकानों में तोड़ फोड़ कर रहे थे, गाड़ियों में आग लगा रहे थे. अब चूंकि हरियाणा पुलिस वो रेड कर रही है तो उसके बाद ये लोग हिल्स एरिया में शेल्टर लेकर छुपे हुए हैं. हम लोग शाम के वक्त कई ऐसे हिल्स एरिया में गए जहां पर 5 से 6 विलेज के लोग पहाड़ों पर सुबह से शाम तक छुपे हुए हैं और उनको बाकायदा खाना पहुंचाने के लिए लोग जा रहे हैं, पानी पहुंचाने के लिए भी लोग जा रहे हैं. जो जहां नल्हड़ मंदिर जहां से राइटिंग की शुरुआत हुई थी, हिंसा की शुरुआत हुई थी, वहां से भी हिल्स एरिया से ही फायरिंग हो रही थी. तो बहुत मुमकिन है कि हरियाणा पुलिस उनको तलाश रही है, उन दंगाइयों को जो उन्हें नहीं मिल रहे हैं, जो इंडिया टुडे की टीम ने खोज निकाला है. बहुत मुमकिन है कि कल से इन हिल्स एरिया में हरियाणा पुलिस का सर्च ऑपरेशन शुरू हो. राहुल,
I don't know whether to laugh or cry, to pat our team for the fantastic job they've done, or just to tear my hair apart at the sheer incompetence of the Haryana police. Mohammad Hezbollah was the first journalist to actually go up these hills, because when we were having this conversation yesterday, हमने बोला कि जहाँ से ये पत्थर आए वहाँ जाके और देखते हैं कि क्या होगा. और जब आप ऊपर पहुँचे हिजबुल्लाह, आपने देखा कि वहाँ पे तो कई सारे दंगाई है, उनके परिवार वाले और कुछ और गांव वाले डर के मारे छिपे हुए हैं. ये तो बहुत शॉकिंग है. आप थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कीजिए हमारे दर्शकों को, आप कैसे ऊपर पहुँचे, वहाँ पे आपने दरअसल क्या देखा इन पहाड़ों पर, और जब हम लोग ऊपर जा रहे तो हरियाणा पुलिस कहाँ है?
देखिए, हरियाणा पुलिस ऊपर इसलिए नहीं जा सकती है कि उसको जाने में प्रॉब्लम इसलिए होती है क्योंकि जब वो हरियाणा पुलिस जब जाएगी उनको पकड़ने, तो वो पहाड़ पे एक हाइट पे बैठे हुए हैं, तो वहाँ से वो पत्थरबाजी करने का एक डर है हरियाणा पुलिस को. इसलिए हरियाणा पुलिस ज़्यादातर
डर है का क्या मतलब है? दे कैन गो आर्म्ड एंड स्टफ, दे कैन गो प्रॉपर्ली इक्विप्ड फॉर दिस.
नहीं, जब वो आप नीचे से आप फायरिंग भी करें या कुछ भी करें, बट वो ऊपर से जब पत्थर आ रहा होता तो आपको बचना पुलिस को बचना पड़ता है. तो पुलिस इस वजह से थोड़ी सी अभी पहाड़ों पे जाने से हेजिटेट कर रही है, बट गाँव में वो अच्छे से रेड करी. जब मैं सुबह में पहुँचा वहाँ, सुबह 6 बजे के आसपास जब मैंने पहाड़ों में पहुँचा, तो मैंने ऑलरेडी पहले मैंने किसी से बात कर रखी थी कि मुझे आना है, आप लोगों से मिलना है. तो वहाँ कम से कम मैंने देखा कि लाइन से जो पहाड़े हैं वहाँ पे 50-60 लोग 70 लोग ऐसे आ रहे हैं और जा रहे हैं. छोटे छोटे पहाड़ों पे लोग इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं. जब मैं उनसे बात की कि आप लोग क्यों इकट्ठे हैं, तो उनका ये कहना था कि हमें डर है कि कहीं रात को जब हम घर में सो रहे होंगे तो हमें पुलिस ना उठा के लेके जाए. मैंने जब पूछा कि आपने किया कि पुलिस क्यों उठा के ले जा रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने ये कहा कि देखिए, इसमें सब ने कुछ नहीं किया, बट कुछ लोग तो ऐसे हैं जो शामिल थे उसमें. तो अब लेकिन पुलिस अब ये समझ नहीं रही है कि कौन शामिल है कौन नहीं थे. पुलिस सबको उठा रही है, इसलिए हम लोग यहाँ छुपे हुए हैं. और वहीं पे उनका खाना पीना चाय वगैरह सब कुछ वहीं पे. वहाँ पे उन्होंने एक तरीके से कॉट उन्होंने लगा कर रखा हुआ है प्रॉपर. उन्होंने वहाँ पे टेंट लगा हुआ है, गद्दे लगे हुए हैं, सब वहीं पे सो रहे होते हैं. तो और ये इनके गांव विलेज से ज़्यादा डिस्टेंस पे नहीं है, मुश्किल से 2 किलोमीटर के डिस्टेंस पे सब अपने अपने विलेजों से 1 से 2 किलोमीटर के डिस्टेंस पे लोग पहाड़ों पे चढ़े हुए हैं.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you in just a moment, because India Today's Special Investigations team has been setting the news agenda through this week. We were the first to expose the social media warriors who instigated hate and violence online. One of the key persona is Bittu Bajrangi. He is in charge of the Bajrang force and was on the ground in New when the clashes erupted. He's also the one who made the most incendiary videos threatening to beat people up, including wanting to fire. India Today is the only news channel that's been able to track Bittu Bajrangi down, and he's admitted that members in the yatra were carrying weapons.
Preparing the battleground online. His unchecked aggression on social media foreshadowed Monday's mayhem in Haryana's New. Bittu Bajrangi streamed multiple live videos loaded with provocative messaging as he made his way to the VHP's Braj Mandal Yatra on Monday. India Today has tracked down this provocator. A self-anointed cow vigilante, a leader of a self-anointed Bajrang force. A man named in at least 4 cases, the latest linked to his role at New on Monday. Earlier, he stood accused of inciting communal riots based in Faridabad on the outskirts of the national capital. Bittu Bajrangi sounded unapologetic. He pleaded not guilty. The man in his 50s sought to project the VHP's yatra as a peaceful march. He defended the swords and guns carried by participants as ritual arms.
जो एक आध गन्स होंगी भी तो वो लाइसेंस की हैं, अवैध नहीं है। और तलवार हमारी क्या होती है, पूजा करने वाली होती है। ये तलवार हमारी शादी ब्याह वाली होती है, काटने मारने वाली नहीं होती।
In the same breath though, Bittu Bajrangi advocated iron-fisted methods against the other side, calling them terrorists.
ये आतताई जिम्मेदार है जिन्होंने ऐसी घटना को अंजाम दिया, और वो आतताइयों पे योगी सरकार की तरह उनके घरों पे बुलडोजर चलने चाहिए, और मैं तो कहूँ उनका अनकाउंटर भी होना चाहिए।
जय गौ माता, जय श्री राम। मैं आपका भाई मोनू मानेसर।
Birds of a feather flock together. Monu Manesar, another notorious cow vigilante, another provocator of the New clashes.
हम खुद यात्रा में शामिल रहेंगे और हमारी पूरी टीम वो यात्रा में शामिल रहेगी।
Manesar's video announcement about attending Monday's yatra believed to have stirred passions.
और मेवात यात्रा में बढ़ चढ़कर हिस्सा लेंगे।
He didn't participate in the event, but rumors about his alleged presence apparently provoked the other side of the communal divide. Bittu Bajrangi revealed he met Monu Manesar barely a month ago.
मोनू मानेसर को जानते हैं? कभी उनसे आपकी बात हुई, मुलाकात हुई हो?
हाँ जी, जानते हैं। अपना गो वक्त है।
आखिरी बार कब बात?
आखिरी बात हो गया, 1 महीना हो गया। एक सम्मेलन था, वहाँ पर उनसे बात हुई थी।
A classic case of online riot tribes becoming real-life violence.
New violence has again brought spotlight on hate mongers. India Today tracked down Bittu Bajrangi, whose hate speech had gone viral on 31st of July, which many believe ultimately led to violence in Mewat area. In fact, he admitted on a camera that he had met fugitive Monu Manesar just a month back and added that there were swords and guns in Shobha Yatra. Unfazed by allegations, clearly Bittu Bajrangi has no fear for law. With Alok Das, this is Rahul Gautam reporting for India Today.
So far, 93 FIRs have been filed across 5 districts of Haryana. Hundreds have been arrested for the violence and the clashes. How did the violence begin? Who started the fight? Who threw the first stone? That is what hasn't been established so far. What you have are bullets being fired from both sides, those who took out the yatra, those who were attacking from the hills. What is not understood at this moment is who opened the fire. That's something that is being probed. In the meanwhile, India Today has accessed 3 videos that capture some of the key moments of the New nightmare. Arvind Ojha with these details.
ये पुलिस कर क्या रही है?
पुलिस का क्लियर करा दिया।
A glimpse of the sheer terror that was unleashed on Yatris on July 31st in Haryana's New. India Today has accessed 3 videos that show you how the new nightmare really unfolded. With a mob armed to the teeth, ambushed locals from all sides at a Shiv temple. The first video, shot by a terrified Yatri, shows cops armed with AK-56 aiming for the hills. People are scrambling on the road for cover as the sound of gunfire can be heard. Cops, however, dressed in civil clothes, hold back from firing.
ये देखो भाई फायरिंग होते हुए ये पहाड़ों पे बैठे भाई फायरिंग कर रहे थे.
Another video shot by a local shows everyone hiding behind vehicles as the bullet train continues. Unarmed cops can be seen also taking cover, helpless, and shows you how completely unprepared they were for the ambush from the hills.
ये देखो भाई फायरिंग होते हुए ये पहाड़ों पे बैठे भाई फायरिंग कर रहे थे.
The armed mob, clearly at a strategically higher location, manages to fire non-stop at Yatris, with a clear aim of ensuring maximum casualties.
ये देखो भाई फायर.
The next video is from inside the temple. There is no shelter, no place to run, no place to hide for terrified Yatris. One of them can be even heard asking what are the cops doing.
ये पुलिस कर क्या रही है?
पुलिस का क्लियर करा दिया.
Police officials with bulletproof vests can be seen ushering people inside to protect them from the spray of bullets raining on them. Smoke can be seen billowing out of areas close to the temple, and dozens of people can be seen standing in the Shiv temple with nowhere to go. These videos on India Today answer the one question India has been asking. Who started the riot? Who opened fire first? The rioters who stood strategically atop a hill and fired non-stop at innocent Yatris have now been arrested.
क्यों आपने आगजनी की घटनाओं को दिया?
नहीं सर, हमें सोते लाए.
इसमें हम ना जाए जाए सोते उनको 5 बजे उठा के लाए हैं सर. ये 5 बजे सुबह वो सोते हैं उनको उठा के लाए हैं. कहीं सीसीटीवी फुटेज मिले, हमारा कोई रोल मिले, तब तो हम गुनहगार हैं. बाजार में नहीं थे. हम बाजार में नहीं थे, लेकिन आप सबके ऊपर आरोप है कि आपने आगजनी की घटनाओं को अंजाम दिया था. नहीं दिया हमने.
These videos tell a story of manufactured terror, of how the riots that broke out on July 31st and August 1st was pre-planned, motivated and completely orchestrated to spread unrest. With Arvind Ojha and Sushant Mehra, Bureau Report, India Today.
Joining me now on this broadcast, senior Congress leader from Haryana, Deepinder Singh Hooda, Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha. We've got Jawahar Yadav, spokesperson in the Chief Minister's office. In Haryana, Shri Raj Nair represents the Vishva Hindu Parishad. Vikram Singh is with us, former Director General of Police in Uttar Pradesh. I want to go across to Vikramji first. You've seen this investigation, and on the one side, I am delighted that our correspondents showed the kind of enterprise they did. They climbed up these mountains. They were able to find some of the rioters, their family members on these hills. They're hiding from the police. And that is really high quality enterprise journalism. At the same time, Dr. Singh, I am astonished that what is obvious to a journalist doesn't seem to be as obvious to the Haryana police, who should really be swarming the hills right above where the riots took place. 150, 200 Haryana's top police personnel, the best armed, the best equipped police personnel should be on those hills right now. Why are they not there, and how is India Today there?
Rahul ji, good evening. Congratulations to you, your channel, your gallant reporters who have gone to the scene of crime and the rioting unescorted and unarmed. They have brought the bitter truth. What you are analyzing is the consequence of the conspiracy and the stress and the strains and also the tension that was building up for the last 15 days. The causes are invariably economics. The cow slaughter, the cyber crime, the crackdown by the Haryana police on the cyber crime, and having the raids on no fewer than 128 locations by the SP New, but that was on 28th of April. The consequences and the fallout, because in a very great measure, cyber crime also is a major contribution to the economics of the area, as also other nefarious and undesirable activities. Now the presence of the police and also the presence, you've shown in your program, the likes of Bittu, Bajrangi, Monu Manesar, Ehsan Mewati and others. They were vitriolic. They were, in fact, on the social media and indulging in hate speech of the worst kind. I cannot repeat what they have said. But yes, I would have been very happy if there was intervention around the 20th of July. No intervention, no preventive arrests, no action taken as per the police protocol of patrolling, preventive arrests, preventive action, action under 107, 116 of the CRPC, and recovery of all arms, licensed and unlicensed. As also area domination, presence on the rooftops through drone technology. We have the technology to surveillance all the rooftops through drones, and also physically also nothing like this was done. And to escort a procession under these stressful circumstances, I salute the Haryana police for the follow-up, but I fault them for what they did not do earlier to 31st of July.
No, but even right now, sir, if it's so easy to establish, we spoke to a Sarpanch, he knows who the boys are, we go up the hill, some of the rioters are there, their family members are there. I mean, this is quite obvious saluting and basic investigation. The Haryana police should have been there, so I don't see what you're complimenting them for.
I would say that the follow-up, yes, they were caught on the wrong foot. I admit they were caught on the wrong foot, Rahul. They were also caught on the wrong foot, not because they just have to monitor the social media and see, and everything is there. They just have to see your channel and everything is out. It is not rocket science to understand who are the main villains in the group. But I would say that after taking 3 casualties and so many casualties biting the bullet, yes, they have given a befitting reply. I would have been very happy if this, even in a scale of 1 is 10, 1 out of 10 would have happened before 31st. That did not happen. And that is where the horrible fault line is. That is where the horrible fault line is. You have exposed all the accused. This was the job of the police, not of your channel or of your reporters, who in fact took a very calculated risk and had gone to the scene of occurrence. But yes, I would say there's a lot to be done, and the roadmap should incorporate no hate speech. Those who indulge in hate speech and arrange for the firearms, their place is behind bars under the NSA and the UAPA.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Singh, for joining us. Arvind Oja is still with us. Arvind, the biggest question is, pehli goli kisne chalai? Where did the first fire come from? Because we've seen this whole VHP, Bajrang Dal lot, they're firing in the air, throwing stones. We've now captured the rioters on the hills, in the buildings, they are throwing stones at the yatra below. How did this start? What has the investigation shown so far?
नहीं, देखिए, इंडिया टुडे ने एक्सेस किया है वो एफआईआर, हालांकि काफ़ी एफआईआर फाइल्ड हुई है, लेकिन वो एफआईआर जहां से शोभा यात्रा शुरू हो रही थी, नलड़ का मंदिर, ये एफआईआर जो पुलिसकर्मी वहां मौजूद थे उन्होंने फाइल की है। और एफआईआर के मुताबिक जैसे ही शोभा यात्रा शुरू होती है, सामने की तरफ से 600 से 700 की भीड़ जो मॉब थी वो शोभा यात्रा की तरफ बढ़ती है। पुलिस उनको रोकने की कोशिश करती है। उसके बाद जो हिल्स एरिया है, उस हिल्स एरिया से फायरिंग शुरू हो जाती है, स्टोन पेल्टिंग शुरू हो जाती है और पेट्रोल बम वो फेंके जाते हैं। साथ ही साथ जो रिलीजियस स्लोगन है वो भी मॉब लगाती है। और उसके बाद जो विजुअल्स हैं वो इंडिया टुडे ने एक्सेस किया कि किस तरह से फायरिंग हो रही है। जो बजरंग दल और वीएचपी की तरफ से कुछ लोग थे जिनके पास लाइसेंसी वेपन्स थे, उन्होंने भी रिटेलिएट करने की कोशिश करी, लेकिन वहाँ पर जो स्थिति थी उतनी ख़राब थी कि जो विजुअल हमने एक्सेस किया इंडिया टुडे ने, उसमें पुलिस वाले भी गाड़ी की आड़ में छुपते हुए नज़र आ रहे हैं। पूरा जो हिल्स एरिया था, उस हिल्स एरिया से वो फायरिंग हो रही थी। और जैसा मोहम्मद हिजबुल्ला ने कहा, राहुल, यहाँ पर जो MOS है, जो मोडस ऑपरेंडी है, इंडिया टुडे ने पहले भी साइबर को लेकर, क्रिमिनल को लेकर खुलासा किया था। यहाँ मोस्ट ऑफ द क्रिमिनल जब पुलिस की रेड होती है तो पहाड़ पे छिपते हैं, और यहाँ इस मामले में 2 दिन से पहाड़ पर जो राइटर्स हैं वो छुपे हुए हैं। इंडिया टुडे की टीम उनके पास जाती है, उनको एक्सपोज करती है, लेकिन हरियाणा पुलिस को इस बारे में जानकारी नहीं है। तो यहाँ पर 2 बातें हैं। एक तो हरियाणा पुलिस को यह जानकारी नहीं है कि जो राइटर्स हैं जिन्होंने लूटपाट की वो हिल्स एरिया में छुपे हुए हैं। और जो दूसरी बड़ी बात यह है कि किस तरीके से वो वहाँ पर लगातार उनको इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल रही है कि पुलिस रेड हो रही है, पुलिस आ रही है, कब आ रही है, कब जा रही है, ये हर इन्फॉर्मेशन उनको मिल रही है।
Okay, Arvind Oja, thank you for joining us. I want to go across to Jawahar Yadav, spokesperson in the Haryana BJP, officer on special duty to Chief Minister Khattar. यादव साहब, ये इंडिया टुडे की दिलेर इन्वेस्टिगेशन दिखाती है कि कई सारे दंगाइये, उनके परिवार वाले, जहाँ पे दंगा हुआ उसके नज़दीक पहाड़ों पे छिपे हुए हैं। ये अब सच पूरे देश के सामने है। हमारे ड्रोन कैमराज में, हमारे स्टिंग कैमराज में, हमारे ओपन कैमराज, तीनों तरह के कैमराज पे कैप्चर है। सबसे बड़ा सवाल आपसे ये है कि अगर हमारी जो खुफिया जर्नलिस्ट हैं, इन्वेस्टिगेटिव रिपोर्टर्स हैं, उनकी टीम वहाँ पहुँच सकती है, तो सर आपकी पुलिस क्यों नहीं पहुँच पाई है? अब तक ये दंगाइये खुले क्यों घूम रहे?
नहीं, देखिए, आपकी बात कुछ हद तक ठीक होगी, पूर्णतः ठीक नहीं है। पहला दंगा ऐसा है, देश का दंगा नहीं होना चाहिए था। दंगे से पूर्व हमने 1000 पुलिसकर्मी वहां भेजे अन्य स्टेट से, जिलों से, कि जिससे एक एहतियात के तौर पर कि ऐसी स्थिति उत्पन्न ना हो। इसके बाद भी कांग्रेस का पूर्व सुनियोजित और साइबर क्राइम करने वाले, ये सब ने मिलकर उसको इतना किया कि उसमें हमारी उस समय व्यवस्था खराब हुई। परंतु उसके बाद भी देश के दंगों के इतिहास में ये पहली घटना है जिसपे तुरंत कुछ घंटों बाद काबू पा लिया गया। उसके बाद आप ये कहते हैं कि पुलिस ने कार्य नहीं किया। 176 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया है, 93 एफआईआर हो चुकी है। धीरे धीरे हम उस तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं। और मैं कहता हूं, आज मेरे मित्र और छोटे भाई बैठे हैं, दीपेंद्र हुड्डा जी, इनकी पार्टी के नेताओं ने ऐसे बयान दिए और ये कहा गया कि कुछ लोगों को हम प्याज की तरह फोड़ देंगे। उस मामन खान के खिलाफ इन्होंने क्या कार्रवाई की? हमारे लिए तो मजबूरी ये थी कि वो जो बयान दिया गया था वो विधानसभा में दिया गया था, परंतु इन तो पार्टी के नेता थे। और आज एक और मजेदार चीज बताता हूं।
आप पॉलिटिक्स को एक मिनट किनारे कीजिए ना सर। मैं तो आपसे लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, जवाहर जी, मैं आपसे लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का सवाल पूछ रहा हूं। मैं आपको अपनी इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बारे में पूछ रहा हूं। आप मेरा सवाल विनम्रता से मेरा सवाल सुन लीजिए, उसका जवाब दीजिए। पॉलिटिक्स बाद में करते हैं। इस वक्त नू में कुछ पहाड़ों पे दंगाइये छिपे हुए हैं। इंडिया टुडे और आज तक के कैमरे ने उन दंगाइयों को कैप्चर किया है। वो वहाँ पे पूरा ठिकाना बनाए बैठे हैं, तारपुलिन भी है, पलंग भी है, चाय पानी उनका वहाँ पे चल रहा है। पुलिस आती है, पुलिस को आता देखते हैं, वहाँ से भाग जाते हैं। मेरा सबसे बड़ा सवाल जवाहर साहब आपसे ये है, आप ऑफिसर ऑन स्पेशल ड्यूटी हैं खट्टर साहब के, अब तक आपकी पुलिस ने दंगाइयों के ठिकानों पर छापे क्यों नहीं मारे हैं सर?
नहीं, आपको मैं भी इतनी आग्रह से और निवेदन से कहता हूं, आपका ये कहना कि अब तक पुलिस ने कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं की है, अगर पुलिस ने कार्रवाई नहीं की होती तो 176 लोग अरेस्ट नहीं होते। इसके अलावा 126 लोग और हैं जिनको एहतियात के तौर पर पकड़ा हुआ है, यानी कि 176 लोग हैं जो गिरफ्तार हो चुके हैं और 126 लोग हैं जो एहतियात के तौर पर पकड़े हुए हैं, जिन पे इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है। यानी कि पुलिस तो अपना काम कर रही है। अब आपका कहना है ये है कि जहां पर आप पहुंचे वहां पुलिस क्यों नहीं पहुंची, आपका सवाल ये है। हम इस पे कदम बाय कदम बढ़ रहे हैं और ये मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं, आपके जिम्मेवार चैनल है, कि एक भी अपराधी किसी भी कीमत पर छूटेगा नहीं, चाहे वो कोई भी हो, चाहे किसी भी प्रकार की घटना हो। हम संप्रदाय और समुदाय देखकर कानून की वो डंडा नहीं चलाते। जो भी अपराधी है, जिसने भी कोई गुनाह किया होगा, किसी कीमत पर बख्शेंगे नहीं। और ये मैं खुद कहता हूं कि एक समय बाद पुलिस ने बहुत जल्दी ऐसे सांप्रदायिक दंगों को संभाला। फिर मैं आप कहेंगे राजनीति नहीं की है, मैंने कुछ घटनाएं अपनी आंखों से देखी है। मैं नई दिल्ली में रहता था, 1984 मेरी आंखों के सामने हुआ। 3 दिन पुलिस को कंट्रोल करने में मेहनत करनी पड़ी।
मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूं कि सीआईडी की रिपोर्ट आई, हमने उसको इंडिया टुडे पे दिखाया। आपने देखा होगा, अगर आप स्टोरी को ट्रैक कर रहे हैं, और आपको करना भी चाहिए क्योंकि आपके डायरेक्ट का मामला है। उसमें कहा कि 8-10 दिन पहले हमने स्थानीय प्रशासन को और राज्य की पुलिस को ये जानकारी दी थी कि इस तरह का कम्युनल दंगा हो सकता है, मोबिलाइजेशन चल रही है, ये बड़ा खतरनाक है। और 2-3 दिन पहले तो खुलेआम सोशल मीडिया पर बाकायदा पब्लिक में वीडियो पोस्ट किए जा रहे थे। और जब ये दंगा हुआ शुरुआत में, आपके होमगार्ड वहां पे तैनात थे, रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स की टुकड़ी 2 किलोमीटर दूर थी, उसको किसी ने डिप्लॉय नहीं किया। बगैर हथियारों के होमगार्ड, नॉट इवन आर्म्ड पुलिस, ये कैसे हो सकता है? आप तैयार क्यों नहीं थे 10 दिन पहले? अगर सीआईडी ने बताया कि दंगा हो सकता है, खतरनाक स्थिति है, तैयारी क्यों नहीं की आपने अच्छे से?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है। इसमें थोड़ा सा मैं आपको संशोधित करूंगा। होमगार्ड नहीं थे, 1000 पुलिसकर्मी अन्य जिलों से मेवात में गए थे, इसी घटना को ध्यान में रखते हुए कि इसी एहतियात को बरतने के लिए कि वहां कोई दुर्घटना घट सकती है। पर मैं फिर कह रहा हूं, वो दुर्घटना इतनी प्लानिंग थी, कहीं ना कहीं कोई चूक तो हुई है, तभी यह दुर्घटना घटी है। परंतु उसका मैं सिर्फ यही कहना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि यहाँ रिटायर्ड डीजीपी भी बैठे हैं उत्तर प्रदेश के, कि ऐसी सांप्रदायिक घटना को जितनी जल्दी हरियाणा के पुलिस के कर्मचारियों ने, सीआरपीएफ ने, आरएएफ ने कंट्रोल किया है, और सबसे तेजी से जो केंद्रीय एजेंसी भी अगर कहीं पहुंची है तो मुझे लगता है वो नूह में पहुंची है। और मैं फिर यह कहना चाहता हूं कि एक भी गुनाहगार किसी भी कीमत पर जो ऐसी घटनाओं में शामिल था, चाहे वो
सर, मुझे तो आप हर मामले में लेट ही चलते हुए दिख रहे हैं।
किसी को भी
जब मोबिलाइजेशन हुई तब आपने रोका नहीं, जब सोशल मीडिया पे वीडियो आए तब आप लोग जगे नहीं, जब पहाड़ों पे दंगाई छिपे हुए हैं वहां आप पहुंचे नहीं। सब जगह तो हम आपसे पहले पहुंच रहे हैं, और आपकी पुलिस को आगे होना चाहिए, पत्रकारों को कवर करना चाहिए कि पुलिस क्या कर रही है।
176 लोग, अरे सर 176 लोग कहां से पकड़े हैं, और बाकी जिनसे इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रही है वो कहां से पकड़े? आपको
सर, इनको तो प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी में लेना चाहिए ना। जैसे बिट्टू बजरंगी का मैं एग्जांपल देता हूं, जवाहर जी, मैं बिट्टू बजरंगी का एग्जांपल देता हूं। जब उसने ये भड़काऊ बयान दिया, उसी टाइम पे आपको उसको प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी में ले लेना चाहिए था, अगर आप वाकई में जगह होते जैसे आप बोल रहे हैं।
क्या बयान दिया उसने, एक बार मुझे दोहराएंगे प्लीज?
सर, उसका वीडियो आया, वीडियो हमने पूरा चलाया, जिसमें वो बता रहा है मैं जा रहा हूं, आओ हम वहां, मतलब पूरा वो क्लियर करने।
बयान दिया
सर, मैं वीडियो अभी आपको चला के दिखाया था ना। वीडियो जो बिट्टू बजरंगी का है, निकालिए, मैं प्रोड्यूसर को बोलता हूं निकालता हूं ना, 2 मिनट निकाल, लेट्स जस्ट पुल इट आउट नाउ। द थिंग इज, मैं आपको चला के दिखाता हूं पूरा वीडियो। ये 2 दिन पहले आया, मोनू मानेसर का बाकायदा वीडियो आया। बिट्टू बजरंगी जो कि मौके पे था, खुलेआम धमकी दे रहा है, सोशल मीडिया पे वीडियो वायरल हो रहा है। मेरा सवाल है, आपने उनको प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी में क्यों नहीं लिया? आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
मोनू मानेसर ने यह कहा कि देखिए, मैं मोनू मानेसर का प्रवक्ता नहीं, परंतु वो वीडियो जो मैंने देखा है उसमें वो ये कह रहा है कि एक धार्मिक यात्रा होगी जिसमें मैं भी जाऊंगा, आप भी आए। उसमें क्या किसी संप्रदाय के खिलाफ कुछ बोला गया है क्या?
सर, अब तो ये तो अब नजरिए पे है, गोली पे गोली चलेगी, मतलब वो तो एकदम क्लियरली भड़काऊ टाइप का। और
तो
सर, इंसेंडियरी क्या होता है, भड़काऊ क्या होता है?
राहुल जी, मेरा कहना है कि मोनू मानेसर, राहुल जी, हाँ, भड़काऊ क्या होता है? भड़काऊ ये होता है कि अगर कोई मेवात में आएगा उसको हम प्याज की तरह फोड़ देंगे। भड़काऊ ये होता है कि अगर आप इसमें सादत पा लेते हैं दंगों, इनको श्रद्धालुओं को मारने में, तो आपको जन्नत मिलेगी, और अगर किसी को मार देते हैं तो आपको सादत मिलेगी। भड़काऊ बयान ये होता है। ये कहना कि धार्मिक यात्रा में शामिल हुई है, ये भड़काऊ बयान कब से हो गया?
सर, एक सेकंड, मैं ना इस वजह से नहीं चला रहा हूं क्योंकि वो वीडियो इतना भड़काऊ है। मैं चला सकता हूं उसका कुछ हिस्सा, लेकिन मैं पूरा वीडियो नहीं चलाना चाहता क्योंकि इट इज एन इंसेंडियरी वीडियो।
मोनू मानेसर का बयान चलाइए।
मैं आपको बिट्टू बजरंगी का बयान चला के दिखा रहा हूं। वो बोल रहा है आओ गोली पे गोली चलेगी। नहीं, मैं बिट्टू बजरंगी का बोल रहा हूं। वो बोल रहा है गोली पे गोली चलेगी, काऊ विजिलेंटे है, वहां पे उसके खिलाफ केसेस हैं, आपने इसको प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी में लेना चाहिए था। आप अगर सोच रहे मैं क्यों नहीं चला रहा, क्योंकि उसमें भड़काऊ बातें, इसलिए मैं नहीं चला रहा हूं। इसलिए नहीं कि बस वीडियो नहीं है, पर मैं आपको चला के सुना के दिखा सकता हूं, और आपने भी सुना होगा।
राहुल जी, मैंने मोनू मानेसर का, और फिर भी हम कहते हैं, मैंने तो आपको यह भी कहा कि मेवात के बाद भी अगर कोई आरोपी है जिसने कोई गुनाह किया है, हम उस पर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई किएंगे। ये आपके बोलने से पहले मैं बोल रहा हूं। हमारी एफआईआर केवल नूह जिले में नहीं हुई, हमने पलवल में की, हमने फरीदाबाद में की, हमने गुरुग्राम में भी की, हमने रेवाड़ी में भी की। जहां भी हमें कोई ऐसा साक्ष्य मिला, चाहे वो किसी के भी खिलाफ मिला, संप्रदाय, जाति सबसे ऊपर उठकर हमारे लिए गुनाहगार होता है, उस पर सबने एफआईआर की। केवल हमने नूह में एफआईआर थोड़ी की है, नूह के बाहर भी लोगों को पकड़ के जेल में भेजा है।
ओके, Just one second, you know, मैं एक second बाइक चला के दिखाता हूँ जो बयान है. Just bear with me. I want to tell our viewers that we've just pulled out a part of the video. This is a it's been taken down now, and therefore I don't want to fall in the trap by playing out the video and ending up, you know, adding more fuel to fire. But I'll just play one excerpt to give you a flavor of whether this looks like a normal procession or it looks like someone who's setting up to, you know, do something slightly more sinister than just do a regular religious yatra. Here it is.
और ये बोलेंगे कि बताया नहीं कि हम मुलाकात नहीं हुई, तो इसलिए हम पूरी लोकेशन देंगे. अभी हम पाली हैं और निकलेंगे धौस से ही. फूल माला तैयार रखना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बिल्कुल, क्योंकि ये बोलते हैं ना कि बताना नहीं, निकल गए जी, बताया नहीं, पूछाते हैं ना कि बताना नहीं, निकल गए जी, बताया नहीं, पूछा नहीं. ये सारे मुलाकात करने के लिए. और 150 गाड़ियां फुल सिस्टम.
जवाहर साहब, गोली पे गोली चलेगी, बाप तो बाप रहेगा, 150 गाड़ी. I could have just gone on and on, but that's not the point. अगर आपको ये भड़काऊ नहीं लग रहा, I leave this judgment to our viewers who are watching to decide whether they think this is bhalkau or not. And if this is not bhalkau, I don't know what is. Why was this video not taken down? Why was this man not arrested?
आप इतना देखिए, मैंने फिर कहा, इसमें अगर वो ये कह रहे हैं, मैं फिर कह रहा हूं, अगर कोई भी व्यक्ति हो, आप मुझे इस वीडियो तक ना रखे, कोई भी व्यक्ति हो जिसने कहीं भी गुनाह किया, दंगे भड़काने का काम किया, उस पर अपना कानून अपना काम करेगा. परंतु
नहीं, अब आप घुमा रहे हैं. पहले आपने बोला वीडियो है नहीं,
उस वीडियो
है नहीं, आपने चैलेंज किया, मैंने वीडियो चला दिया.
सुनिए,
और मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं, प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी में क्यों नहीं लिया, उसका आपका जवाब नहीं है.
आपराधिक मामला क्या बनता है? अरे इस वीडियो में आपराधिक मामला क्या बनता है?
सर, आपराधिक मामला ये बनता है कि अगर कोई समझदार पुलिस वाला हो, वो ये जानेगा कि बॉस इन लोगों की मंशा कुछ पंगा करने की है, दोनों तरफ से बिल्डअप हो रहा है, या तो हम लोग इस यात्रा को रोके या एक्स्ट्रा पुलिस वहां पे डिप्लॉय करें, क्योंकि वेरी क्लियरली वहां पे स्थिति खराब करने की दोनों तरफ से तैयारी चल रही थी. ये इसलिए तो प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी क्या होती है? प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी होती क्या है? प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी में उसको लेते हैं जब आगे चल के कोई स्थिति खराब हो जाती. क्राइम कमिट होने के थोड़ी प्रिवेंटिव कस्टडी होती है.
राहुल जी एक अंतिम लाइन बोलना चाहता हूं. आपने कहा कि दोनों तरफ से ऐसा हुआ. कोई एक दंगई किसी धार्मिक यात्रा के हथियार से मरा? आपके अनुसार कोई एक दंगई जिसने लोगों को मारा, कोई भी एक दंगई या कोई भी एक मेवात का व्यक्ति, क्या धार्मिक यात्रा में आप कह रहे हैं कि अवैध हथियार थे, उससे कोई मारा गया क्या? आप जमीनी रिपोर्ट ये भी पता कर लीजिए. अगर दूसरे पक्ष के पास हथियार होते, वो अभी इन्वेस्टिगेशन का विषय है, इसलिए और मेरी मजबूरी है, मैं ओएसडी होने के नाते कुछ चीजें बोल सकता हूं, कुछ नहीं बोल सकता हूं. पर आपकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन, जो आप कह रहे हैं कि आपने अच्छी इन्वेस्टिगेशन की, पहाड़ पर आप पहुंच गए जहां आपके अनुसार पुलिस नहीं पहुंची, तो क्या धार्मिक यात्रा में, जैसा आपका आरोप है कि वहां दूसरे पक्ष के पास भी हथियार थे,
नहीं, कौन से पक्ष के पास थे? मैं आपको दिखा देता हूं. लेट्स पुल आउट द वीडियो. सर, वो जो धार्मिक हथियार में थे, कैमरे पे कैद है, गोलियां चला रहे हैं, उनके पास स्वॉर्ड्स हैं, उनके पास.
पुलिस का कर्मचारी है.
नहीं, पुलिस के कर्मचारी नहीं है सर. मैं आपको भी तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूं. अरे आप फिर से बोल, आपने बोला वीडियो नहीं है, मैंने वीडियो निकाल के चला दिया. अभी मैं आपको दिखाता हूं. सर, वो पुलिस के लोग नहीं है सर, वो हवा में गोली चला रहे, तलवारें चला रहे, वो पुलिस के लोग नहीं है सर, वो पुलिस के लोग नहीं है. जस्ट पुल आउट द वीडियो फ्रॉम डे वन. पुल आउट बालीज रिपोर्टेज फ्रॉम डे वन.
ममता सिंह ने कहा है, जो एडीजीपी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है, ममता सिंह ने यह कहा है कि जो नल्लन मंदिर में सिविल में गोलियां चला रहे, वो पुलिस का कर्मचारी.
शुरुआती घंटे की मैं आपको फुटेज अभी दिखाता हूं लाइव. फिर से आप गलत साबित होंगे, दूसरी दफा आप गलत साबित होंगे.
सर, मैं जो राहुल जी जो मैं जिस एविडेंस की मैं बात कर रहा हूं,
आप पता नहीं कौन सी एविडेंस की बात कर रहे हैं ना, ये भी तो प्रॉब्लम है.
गोली चला रहे हैं वो पुलिस. वो पुलिस का कर्मचारी है।
सर मैं आपको यात्रा के लोग दिखा रहा हूं जो यात्रा, ये अभी रुक जाइए, जस्ट वन सेकंड, ये नाउ लुक एट द फुटेज ऑन द स्क्रीन राइट नाउ। जवाहर जी आप भी देखिए, ये लोग जा रहे हैं, पत्थर फेंक रहे हैं, गोलियां चला रहे हैं, ये भगवा पहना हुआ इन लोगों ने। नाउ दिस इज ऑल्सो द रियलिटी ऑफ द स्टोरी। तलवारें हैं इनके पास।
भगवा पहनना गुनाह है क्या?
नहीं सर, भगवा पहनना गलत नहीं है, वो गोली चला रहे हैं सर। भगवा पहनना गलत थोड़ी है। अरे वो गोलियां चला रहे हैं, पत्थर चला रहे हैं।
कोई एक दंगई मरा क्या उनके उससे?
आप एक ही साइड की देख रहे हैं। ये तो विजुअल खुद ही अपनी स्थिति बता रहा है। वो ये देखो तलवार लेके खड़ा है, पत्थर फेंक रहा है। सर दोनों चीजें हो रही है ना। आप एक तरफ की देखते हैं, दूसरी तरफ की नहीं देखते हैं। आप एक तरफ की देखते हैं, दूसरी तरफ की नहीं देखते। ये देखिए बंदूक लेके घूम रहा है, ये भी बंदूक चला रहा है। ये कैमरे पे कैद है सर।
उनके नेता का बयान सुनिए।
आप फिर पॉलिटिक्स कर रहे हैं सर। पुलिस फोर्स सर, आप एक साइड क्यों ले रहे हैं जवाहर जी? आप एक साइड क्यों ले रहे हैं?
ये कहा कि जो गन थी उनके हथियार।
जवाहर जी पुलिस का काम है कि अगर दो लोग कुछ बदमाशी कर रहे हैं, दोनों को पकड़ लीजिए।
जिसने गलत कार्य किया राहुल जी दोनों को पकड़े हैं। हमने अगर किसी को गुड़गांव में
पर एक ही साइड की बात कर रहे हैं,
कंवल में पकड़ा है, रेवाड़ी में पकड़ा है, तो आप समुदाय ढूंढते हैं।
मैं तो समुदाय नहीं ढूंढ रहा हूं,
हम गुनाहगार ढूंढते हैं।
सर आप कमाल की बात कर रहे हैं। हमने पहाड़ पे भेजे अपने खोजी पत्रकार। हमने बोला कि जिन लोगों ने पहाड़ से पत्थर फेंके, जिन्होंने बिल्डिंग से पत्थर फेंके, वो ये दंगाई है। हम उनके ठिकाने पे पहुंचे। आपकी पुलिस तो पहुंच नहीं पाई। आपने शुरू में बोला नहीं हम लोग नहीं पहुंच पाए, हम पहुंचेंगे। और आपकी पुलिस को जो काम करना चाहिए वो तो हम कर रहे हैं।
पुलिस ने पकड़ा अगर 176 लोग, राहुल जी अगर 176 लोग पुलिस ने जेल भेजे हैं, अरेस्ट किए हैं, तो वो गुनाहगार ही पकड़े होंगे। कोई ऐसा तो है नहीं कि कोई
let me go across to दीपेंद्र हुडा as well। जवाहर जी आप रुकिए। ठीक है, आपने कुछ किया, ये बात सही है। मैं बोल रहा हूं आपको बहुत और करने की जरूरत है। मैं ये भी कह रहा हूं कि जो भी हुआ दोनों तरफ से देखिए, एक तरफ की बैटिंग मत कीजिए। जो पहाड़ पे दंगाई है उनको भी हमने कैप्चर किया, जो सड़क पे दंगाई है उनको भी कैप्चर किया। दोनों दंगाई है, दोनों पत्थर फेंके, दोनों को इन्वेस्टिगेट कीजिए। मेरा सिंपल पॉइंट ये है। लेट्स गो अक्रॉस टू दीपेंद्र हुडा हु इज जॉइनिंग अस ऑन दिस ब्रॉडकास्ट। मिस्टर हुडा, फ्रॉम द करंट सिचुएशन वी हैव गॉट this blame game between the VHP, the Bajrang Dal, the Muslim side saying that, blaming the other for starting this violence. Your family has run Haryana for a long time. Where do you think the situation went out of control? Who is to blame in your view?
See, first of all, Rahul, what has happened in Haryana is really unfortunate and most painful for all the Haryanvis to see, because Haryana has never had such an atmosphere or never had a history of such incidents in the past. In fact, this region remained largely peaceful even during the turbulent years of partition. This Mewat region had remained largely peaceful even then. So it's really unfortunate and very painful. At the same time, it was an incident which was completely avoidable. This is a result of complete government failure. Government is to be blamed. When such a procession was to take place, at least the least preventive measures that the government could have taken was to provide adequate police deployment. The government failed to do so. If adequate police deployment had taken place, it would have stopped the confrontation between the two communities and the two groups. Unfortunately, the government failed completely and government has no answers.
Okay.
All that the Chief Minister and our Home Minister are saying now is that it was a pre-planned conspiracy. Well, if it was a pre-planned conspiracy, then what were you doing about it? There are only two possibilities. A, either you were not aware of anything pre-planned, then what was your CID department doing? Or B, if the government was aware about it, then what was your police department doing? What were you sitting on such information? Because a lot of TV channels have done certain...
Okay, no, but you would have seen this India Today investigation which shows that the CID gave information to the Haryana government and police 8 to 10 days in advance, warning of the potential of conflict during this yatra, and yet it seems that adequate protection wasn't made. But what we're hearing from the BJP is they say they did whatever they could and yet the situation went out of control. They're claiming they put extra policemen on the ground.
Absolutely. So now that is what your channel is showing, and that is also what is the common knowledge in the region, that the intelligence officers had passed on the information. But in Haryana, you'll be surprised that for the first time that the police department and the CID department are reporting to two different ministers. Usually CID and police department are always with the home minister, but because of some internal politics, CID department now rests with the chief minister for the first time in Haryana's history, and I don't think is any other state also as an example, and police is with Mr. Vij. So if CID department provided that intelligence input that there was something going to happen 10 days back, then where was that input lost? Was it with the chief minister's office or the home minister's office? So that's a question.
No, that's a very important question. I'm out of time. Dipinder Huda, thank you very much for joining us. Jawahar Yadav has his hand up. मेरा सर टाइम खत्म हो गया है शो का, इसलिए नहीं कि मैं आपको बोलने नहीं देना चाहता, लेकिन वक्त खत्म हो गया, तो बहुत जल्दी एंड में बताइए कि इसके बाद आप क्या करेंगे, बताइए।
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। देखिए, नहीं, पहले मैं दीपेंद्र भाई का जवाब दे दूं। जिन्होंने सांप्रदायिक हिंसा फैलाई, अपने विधायकों के लिए कुछ नहीं बोला। नंबर एक, अशोक गहलोत जी ने आरोप लगाया कि मोनू मानेसर को पकड़ने के लिए जब राजस्थान पुलिस गई तो हमने उस पर एफआईआर कर दी और भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा जी ने उसका समर्थन किया। उन्होंने एक गर्भवती महिला को इतना मारा कि उसके पेट में बच्चे की हत्या हो गई। भिवानी के एक बच्चे की हत्या हो जाती है और राजनीति के चक्कर में भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा अशोक गहलोत के साथ खड़े हो जाते हैं।
Okay, let me put that question to Dipender Huda. Okay, one second, let me put that question, sir. ये मोनू मानेसर की बार-बार बात हो रही है. The question is, I was looking at the investigation in Rajasthan. Monu Manesar hasn't been charged. He's not on that list of absconders in the lynching case in Rajasthan. If he is as big a goon and you're as convinced you have a case against him, your police in Rajasthan, which reports to the Ashok Gehlot government, should have gone and arrested him. You didn't do that either, sir.
See, I am not aware of the details of the case and the situation as far as that case is concerned. But irrespective of any state government, whether Haryana or Rajasthan, if there is a person who's absconding from a wanted situation, facing a certain grave charges, then the police, the respective police, be it Rajasthan or Haryana, has to answer for it.
Okay, no one's coming out smelling of roses in this matter. The fact very clearly is there's been a riot. There were stones flung from both sides. Who started the riot is a matter that needs to be probed. But regardless, when there is such a build-up, the police should have deployed more personnel. And this aspect of an India Today team of investigative reporters ending up in the hideout of the rioters, very close to where this riot took place, up on the hills, caught on camera, it's caught on open camera, it's caught on drone camera, it's caught on sting camera. And yet the Haryana police hasn't got there. Please wake up, get into the act, because all of India is watching. We will continue tracking the story very closely. Rajdeep Sardesai comes up next with News Today.
Communal flashpoint at Delhi's doorstep. Amidst the flames and rioting, India Today reporters fearless on the ground.
Stone pelting was so aggressive from the both sides.
Entire market in the area has been shut right now. Attacked the cyber police station of Noor.
Facts, questions,
What resulted in the communal clashes?
and first-hand reports.
एकदम ही पत्थर आए हैं ऊपर से छतों पे से गोली तक चली है, पीछे वाला शीशा टूट लिया।
100% accuracy amidst the blaze. We track the face of every story. India Today. India United.
Apple iPhone 15 series will most likely launch in the month of September, but buyers may be in for a shock. The prices may go up substantially, especially for the Pro models. Barclays analyst Tim Long says iPhone 15 Pro will be $100 more expensive compared to the iPhone 14 Pro, and the Pro Max model will be a full $200 more expensive. He says the starting price of the normal Pro model will be around $1,100, whereas The Pro Max model will start at almost $1,300.
So in India, Danny, will the iPhone finally breach the 2 lakh rupee price point?
So let's do a little math here to understand that. The current most expensive iPhone in the country, which is the iPhone 14 Pro Max 1TB model, sells for around rupees 1,89,900, which is roughly around $2,300. And at the same time, the model in US costs just $1,500 plus taxes. So if we just add $200 to the total price in India for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it comes down to $2,500, which is a whopping 2,05,000. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but the next generation iPhones could easily breach the 2 lakh mark.
International funds are a relatively new segment that we've seen flourishing very well in India. How do you see their growth over a period of time, and why is it that initially we have international funds that are focused mainly on the US markets? Of course, newer ones are looking at the Asian geography too.
Yeah, I think the thesis comes from portfolio theory. I think if you look at most investors outside of India, so if you look at investors in the UK or the US or even Southeast Asia, you'll see that a lot of their portfolio is devoted towards companies and stocks outside their home country. And I think in India this was not the case, but I think today people have realized that a part of your portfolio should be exposed towards.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist.
Co-presented by JK Tyre Ranger Series, stay wild at heart. Co-powered by the new Kia Seltos, the badass reborn.
Co-powered by Sera, this is your space, play it your way.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today. This is your primetime destination, news, newsmakers, talking points. The big talking point tonight, who lit the fire in Haryana? That's right, as Nu continues to remain tense, that's the big question we'll raise. Also, the Arvind Kejriwal government, has it now been rendered powerless as the Delhi Services Bill is passed in Parliament? That too on the news today. As always, the news with the newsmakers, the 9 headlines at 9. The contentious Delhi Services Bill that will give almost complete powers to the centre to decide on all transfer posting of officers passed in Lok Sabha. Home Minister Shah tells Parliament Delhi was not meant to have full statehood. Delhi Chief Minister Kejriwal hits out, says Modi has stabbed the national capital in the back. India Today accesses key videos that reveal the exact moment when the new riots unraveled. Local mobs now under the scanner. 176 accused have been arrested so far. Fresh clashes erupt in Manipur. Forces and Meitei protesters clash in Bishnupur. Chili spray, bullets and tear gas fired. Centre tables digital personal data protection bill in Lok Sabha. Opposition objects, says bill violates citizens' privacy and right to information provisions. Allahabad High Court gives the nod for an ASI survey at the Gyan Vapi Mosque complex. Muslim side moves the Supreme Court to challenge the order.
Karnataka hijab row rerun in India's financial capital. Mumbai college bans burqa in campus, says students must wear only uniforms. Fresh trouble for wrestling body chief and BJP MP Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. Green Court orders probe against him in an illegal sand mining case. Minor girl allegedly gang raped and then burnt in a coal furnace in Rajasthan's Bhilwara district. 4 accused detained. BJP accuses Gaylord government of failing to protect women. ED heats mounts on Hero Motorcorp chairman Pawan Munjal. Enforcement watchdog seizes foreign currency, cash and jewellery to the tune of 25 crore rupees. But our top story tonight, the communal tension in Haryana. An India Today investigation will shortly reveal how the hills surrounding New, the epicenter of the violence that has claimed 6 lives, were used to fire at a BHP-led Shobha Yatra on the 31st of July. India Today has accessed videos that show how stones were pelted from the hills surrounding the Nalhar Mahadev temple where the Yatra was beginning. The ground report shows suspects using the Aravalis as a strategic cover, the hills around Nu, where local villagers and suspected rioters are believed to have fled to escape the arrest. In the FIRs fired, the police have mentioned that some of the locals descended from the mountains, carrying illegal arms, lathis and stones to disrupt the religious service at a local temple. The videos of the gunshots and stones hurled from the same heights on Monday have also surfaced. It has led to many to believe that it was locals, well armed, who triggered off the riots. 93 FIRs have been filed across the 5 districts. Nearly 200 people have already been arrested. So how exactly did the violence unfold? India Today now brings you 3 videos that reveal the moment the new nightmare began. Arvind Oja has tonight's top story.
ये पुलिस कर क्या रही है? पुलिस का ये क्लियर करा दिया.
A glimpse of the sheer terror that was unleashed on Yatris on July 31st in Haryana's Nu. India Today has accessed 3 videos that show you how the Nu nightmare really unfolded.
ये भाई सामने उतर देखो.
The first video, shot by a terrified Yatri, shows cops armed with AK-56 aiming for the hills. People are scrambling on the road for cover as the sound of gunfire can be heard. Cops, however, dressed in civil clothes, hold back from firing. Another video shot by a local shows everyone hiding behind vehicles as the bullet train continues. Unarmed cops can be seen also taking cover, helpless, and shows you how completely unprepared they were for the ambush from the hills. The next video is from inside the temple. There is no shelter, no place to run, no place to hide for terrified Yatris. One of them can be even heard asking what are the cops doing.
ये पुलिस कर क्या रही है? पुलिस का ये क्लियर करा दिया.
Police officials with bulletproof vests can be seen ushering people inside. Smoke can be seen billowing out of areas close to the temple. And dozens of people can be seen standing in the Shiv temple with nowhere to go. These videos tell a story of manufactured terror, of how the riots that broke out on July 31st and August 1st was pre-planned, motivated and completely orchestrated to spread unrest. With Arvind Oja and Sushant Mehra, Bureau Report, India Today.
As you can see, easy availability of guns, it appears, on the spot where, as those videos show, the epicenter of the violence. 93 FIRs already registered now in 5 affected districts. 176 people arrested so far in the new riots probe. 19 riot accused have been sent to 14-day judicial custody. Over 185 detained in new clashes probe. Joining me now is Mamta Singh, Haryana ADG Law and Order. She was one of the many officers who eventually reached the spot. Mamta Singh ji, the question that is being raised is the role of the police. Did the police reach too little too late? You didn't have enough people on the ground when the violence took place. You were caught unprepared. How true would that be to say that the Haryana police misread the situation on the ground? You did not anticipate that there would be clashes of this kind, even though there were these viral videos surfacing, ma'am.
Rajdeep ji, here I would like to say that Haryana, this is not for the first time this yatra was taking place. This was the third time it was going to happen. And apart from this yatra, there is one Shauri yatra also, which was successfully conducted. It went peacefully on 2 previous occasions in December every year. The preparation was quite like as per the ground situation, because we were monitoring the situation. We had the peace committee talks, and we had, after having all the updates, we had deployed almost 10 companies on ground, anticipating all the eventuality. Therefore, to say that we were caught unaware or we were not prepared, that is not actually correct. It was a third occasion, and like any year, we had all the preparations on ground.
Fewer of, but all our reports suggest there weren't enough boots on the ground. You would also accept that a riot of this kind taking place partly took place because the police was overpowered and overwhelmed. The police clearly didn't anticipate the scale of violence that was about to take place. Is that an intelligence failure or simply a lack of boots on the ground, ma'am?
No, as I said, this was the third time this yatra was happening, and let me tell you one thing, that in past time also the yatra has been carried out not only by the so-called under protection of police, but it was carried out with the support of both the communities. And this time also, like previous occasion, the peace committee people from both communities, they assured that the yatra will be peaceful. Despite that assurance, the social media was under watch when there was some tension brewing up because of a particular video. Immediately it was taken care of, the post was deleted, the local representatives again approached, and all the preventive measures which were to be required to be taken, everything was taken. And it is actually, this kind of scale has never happened in on any previous occasion.
No, so Mamta ji, what changed? Something clearly changed. You're saying previously yatras have gone on peacefully. Something changed now. Either it was that these viral videos of the likes of Monu Manesar and Bittu Bajrangi virtually saying we are going to come there in large numbers, got the local Muslim groups also organized themselves. Something changed. You're saying peace committees had assured you the yatra would go off peacefully. Then why did this violence take place in your view? What changed in 2023?
Again, coming back to your what actually changed, the deployment and the intel, according to that, everything was fine. The viral videos, they were also constantly monitored, and there was a particular the particular video which was actually old, but somebody posted it again. Immediately it was deleted. It all started with one incident of stone pelting, and after that the kind of message which spread all across that there is a pelting and there is a attack on yatris, which spread, and I think that led to this kind of fallout. As far as why this was like this year, that is something actually we are also looking into, and whatever might have been the reason for which this has happened, this is a matter of concern as well as matter of investigation for us also.
But Mamta Singh ji, I'm going to show visuals of the Bajrang Dal Yatra, including people who seem to have guns and swords with them, wearing saffron. These are videos, of course, of Monu Manesar and Bittu Bajrangi, but the video of the Bajrang Dal Yatra carrying people, having people with weapons and swords is what I want to play to our viewers. And there were, of course, those who were caught throwing stones, and the local Muslim mobs there were also well armed. What we seem to see is that two groups were well armed. Now, surely when these arms are being freely paraded, the police should have intervened. As has been suggested by some senior Haryana leaders, including Dushyant Chautala and Rao Inderjit Singh initially, why were these arms allowed in the first place? So you have stone pelters on one side, some of them with guns as well, and also the other group which is armed. Why was this allowed in the first place, ma'am?
Let me tell you one thing, that when this yatra was organized, there was a meeting with the organizers on 26th of July, and in that particular, as you know, the permission is required to be sought. They applied for the permission. There was a meeting with the district administration, and in that particular meeting, the permission was conditional, and it was categorically stated to them that the yatra has to be peaceful. They can have the slogan is something which we all say, like having a when you are devotee, then Har Har Mahadev, or whatever faith you have. But they were not allowed to have any kind of deadly or armed weapon. Now, whatever footage is coming, we are also examining into it. And
no, because the footage, ma'am, I'm sorry to say, the footage that we have clearly has weapons. The footage that we are showing you now, I'll play that, had weapons. The point is, when you have people traveling on the roads with weapons, when you have another group which is on the mountain top shooting or throwing stones, the first thing the police does is intervene and say, no, stop it now. The police was either overwhelmed, was too weak on the ground. Home guards have suffered more. I mean, somewhere something has gone wrong, Mamta ji. What do you think is, according to you, went wrong?
That's what I am saying, that after everything was, undertaking was there, all the arrangements were there, what went wrong and who actually was responsible, if there was any inadequate assessment, this is all is what we are now looking and examining into. As far as the question of having armed and police intervention, or police was caught unaware, I would like to say that 10 companies, as I stated earlier, deployment of 10 companies was keeping in view the size of the yatra, the distance that has to cover, the sensitivity and the past yatra experiences, the deployments was sufficient. Now, to say that there was a limited number of force, of course, that particular point of time, the number of people who went and immediately rushed, the moment there was a rioting and stone pelting and the firing started, the police which was deployed at the point immediately rushed behind the mobs, violators, as well as the people who were running back to the temple for shelter. The number might have been small, but they did maintain their forte, and they protected the people who were trapped in the temple, and the force was immediately called, and we all from the neighboring districts, including myself, will be rushed immediately. Though we had lot of obstruction, there was continuous pelting and firing when the force was approaching to the people who were stranded. And during that firing and that arson and pelting, only we lost our 2 home guard Jawan, and one of my inspectors suffered casualty.
Ma'am, I want to tell our viewers, you are known to be one of the bravest officers in Haryana. So this is not about Mamta Singh, the individual. Let's be very clear about that. This is about the force in general. It's also, some would say, about the political leadership. I want to ask you, therefore, one final question. There are 2 narratives flowing. One is that the Bajrang Dal was inciting, creating a situation in Nu ahead of this yatra that led to retaliation from the Muslim mob. The other is that there are Muslim groups in Nu who are well armed, who are waiting for an opportunity to strike back against some of those who in the name of Gau Rakshak have been spreading hate and violence in the area. Which is right? Who is responsible according to you? Who threw the first stone? Who is responsible for this violence, ma'am?
Rajdeep ji, I would like to say that yes, there was viral videos and cross videos and reaction to the videos. But as I stated earlier, the local police was constantly monitoring it, and wherever intervention was required, immediately we intervened. Not only we got the videos deleted, but we approached the local peace community people who always stood with us, and there was a proper assurance, and there was a clear dialogue with them, and everything was going on peacefully.
Right.
Now, under what circumstances the situation turned so violent, so volatile? This is something we are already looking into. We are investigating, and irrespective of whichever side is responsible, one thing I can assure you that nobody will be spared, and every will be taken to the task, whether it is this side or that side.
Okay, that's the assurance. Whether Hindu or Muslim, you are telling me, irrespective of religion, whoever is involved will be taken to task. There will be no one spared. Am I correct? Exemplary punishment to anyone involved.
Rajdeep ji, bilkul. Whatever I am saying, I am again reiterating, because whatever has happened, it is not a crime against a particular person. It was a crime against a humanity.
Okay.
And whoever is responsible for such crime, which has led to so inflicting wound to so many people, and is traumatizing so many people, irrespective of the caste, class, religion, reason, they should not go unpunished.
Okay, those are very good words, reassuring words to hear from you, Mamta Singh. Obviously, there will be questions raised of what happened on the ground on that fateful day. I hope those questions can be answered in a transparent manner. But I appreciate you taking the time off in this tough time to join us here on the news today. Thank you very much. The big questions, of course, are also for the political leadership. Who lit this fire in Haryana? If previous yatras have gone on well, will anyone be held accountable? Is the politics of polarization, especially as we build up to an election year, partly to blame? Joining me now, Rajiv Jaitley is BJP's national spokesperson, and Arshpreet Singh Khadial is Congress spokesperson. Rajiv Jaitley, you heard the top cop of Haryana telling me that these yatras would pass off peacefully. Peace committees had agreed to allow the yatra to pass off peacefully, and yet violence breaks out. Who do you hold responsible? Militant Hindutva groups like Bajrang Dal, or the local Muslim mobs that had assembled in Nu? Who is responsible? Who do you think is behind this?
I think your question is who lit fire in Haryana. I think straight away I would like to say the person behind this fire is near to the desperate Sonia Gandhi ji, near to the desperate Rahul Gandhi ji. He is working under the leadership of Bhupender Singh Hooda ji. His name is Maman Khan. Maman Khan is the person who initiated this provocation. He started asking people that come to my Mewat. हम तो प्याज की तरह मसल देंगे. He started saying all those stuff. Simultaneously, he started spreading his videos across.
What about Mr. Bajrangi? Let me play.
Producer, I'm coming to that too. I'm coming to that point also. I wanted you to start in this way because your question. No, Rajdeep ji, your question was this. Who lit fire in Haryana? Your question was this. So I'm responding to your question.
Please do.
I'm responding to your question that who started this stuff? Who started creating this problem? And why Congress is mum on that? Why they didn't say that we should sack our member of parliament, member of legislative assembly, his MLA? No question, no word has come from Congress party.
Why would the Congress?
From
Rajiv
ji, from Bhupender Singh
tell me
Hooda
one
ji,
thing.
Sonia Gandhi ji, Rahul Gandhi ji, all these people
Okay, Rajiv ji, मुझे ये बताइए, tell me this, why would the Congress want to light this fire? Why would the Congress want to do it?
You did notice, I said desperate people. Desperate people. They are looking for opportunities in politics. So they didn't have any answer. So they started this stuff. Polarizing people.
So how do they
dividing
benefit?
people.
How
and
do
rule.
they benefit?
That is the policy Congress party is having.
Okay. You're saying the Congress party benefits from polarization?
That is their policy. That is a part of their policy.
Arshpreet Singh
Khadial. That is part of their policy.
Okay. Arshpreet Singh Khadial, respond to what you've just heard. According to the BJP, this is a conspiracy in which the Congress party, both in Haryana and at the national level, is involved.
Thank you, Rajvi, for the question. Kindly allow me 2 minutes uninterrupted. As far as the conspiracy theory goes, the people who are trying to initiate and talk of the conspiracy theory are actually the ones who are conspiring to divert attention and are basically trying to hide the truth. We don't know why. What is there to be hidden as to, why is the Bharatiya Janata Party introducing these theories and not initiating any kind of concrete action, then you should have already. Number two, please do not interrupt me. Number one,
he did not interrupt. Rajivji, he did not interrupt. Rajivji, he did not interrupt with you. I'll come back to you.
What is your stand
Sir,
on
मैं आपके पास वापस आऊँगा.
No, I am not going to interrupt anyone.
Thank you.
I am not going to interrupt. I am just interrupting
There's
it
been
for
a
the question
complete
which I have
breakdown of
raised.
the
Please
law
put
and
the
order
voice of
machinery.
Rajivji down. Haan.
Thank you. There's been a complete breakdown of the law and order machinery. First it happened in Manipur, now it's happened in Haryana. Therefore, the Chief Minister, Mr. Khattar, the Home Minister, Mr. Shah, the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi should resign. Because despite such incidents, the government has not been able to ensure timely action. Number two, the Bharatiya Janata Party had promised us Achhe Din, Rajdeep. Achhe Din did not come, but at least a statement from the Honorable Prime Minister could have come. At least a discussion in the Parliament on priority should have come. That did not come. Because in a matter of amendment, it was more important for them. Because Delhi ordinance was more important for them.
Arshpreet Singh, let's be very clear. The BJP says that politics of polarization has been done by Congress in an election year. You are saying that everyone down from the Prime Minister must resign. My question to you very simply is, the MLA knew his Congress or not? So is there some responsibility of your local leadership or not?
Now, kindly allow me a minute and a half uninterrupted. I'll answer all your questions, the questions that have been posed by the BJP spokesperson as well. First and foremost, instead of assuming, presuming, speculating, if the government would have ordered a timely action, a time-out inquiry, we would have had known who is behind this, who is responsible, and whose accountability is to be fixed. But the government has not been delivering.
No, Rajivji, let me complete. I'm coming to you.
Had the government had ordered action on a timely basis, would have ordered a time-out inquiry, we would have had known who's responsible, whose accountability is to be fixed, who is to be sacked, who is to be put behind bars.
Okay, let me come. Arshdeep, just a minute.
Hiding the truth.
Okay, Arshdeep, let's come to the accountability question, because Rajivji, you mentioned at the start that local leaders associated with the Hoodas and the Congress are involved in this. I just want to play what Bittu Bajrangi said, because this video to my mind also is inflammatory. Listen into the video and I want your response. Please play the video, producer.
और ये बोलेंगे कि बताया नहीं कि हम मुलाकात नहीं हुई, तो इसलिए हम पूरी लोकेशन देंगे. अभी हम पाली हैं और निकलेंगे धौस से ही. फूल माला तैयार रखना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बिल्कुल, क्योंकि ये बोलते हैं ना कि बताना नहीं, निकल गए जी, बताया नहीं, पूछा थे ना कि बताना नहीं, निकल गए जी, बताया नहीं, पूछा नहीं. ये सारे मुलाकात करने के लिए और 150 गाड़ियां फुल सिस्टम.
Do you approve of these videos of the Bajrang Dal, an affiliate of the Sangh Parivar, saying Goli Goli Chalegi, Rajiv ji?
That's what I'm trying to say. We have registered FIR against all the people, those who are engaged, those who are involved, irrespective of their religion. Now I would request you to ask the question from Congress spokesperson that are they going to, listen to me, are they going to sack his member legislative assembly?
No, Arshdeep, you have to keep quiet now. Arshdeep, your voice now to be brought down.
Are they? That's what I said. We have registered against all those people which you are showing. But are they going to take action against their MLA? Did they speak anything on that? In your debate, they are not speaking on Maman Khan. So what is the motive behind it? Because they want to polarize.
No, sir.
Rajiv
Bhai, at the end of the day, the government in Haryana, sir. No, Rajiv ji, 1 minute. The government in Haryana is BJP. Manohar Lal Khattar, Chief Minister, Anil Vij, Home Minister. The fact is, at the end of the day, law and order is a state subject. You cannot pass the buck to the opposition now. If you knew that these videos were coming out, if there was an inflammatory atmosphere being created there, you should have cracked down on them before, not after. You are now telling me you are going to take action against them. Why did you not arrest them earlier? Preemptive action should have been taken. This is what Dushyant Singh Chautala is also saying. This is what Rao Inderjeet also said.
Actually, we have taken action. The person which you are showing on your TV channel, he already registered FIR against him. So he is already there in. I mean, just couple of weeks back, police detained him for some other reasons. But now my question: why are you asking me this question? Why are you not asking this question to the Congress party? That what they are doing with Maman Khan? What is his role in that?
Okay.
When Maman Khan is a member legislative assembly of
Sir,
Congress
he's a
party,
legislative
and
assembly,
those who were
but the police reports to you.
They were followers of Maman Khan.
Police reports to you.
Eventually they become Congress leaders.
Sir,
They are the Congress worker.
Okay, but
they
police,
are the Congress workers.
Sir, police reports to you. Police reports to the BJP leadership. You are blaming the legislator, but I will give you one final word, Mr. Arshpreet, on that. So, that your local leadership will also be held responsible.
The Bharatiya Janata Party has no answers to the questions as to why did you ignore.
Hey, why don't you speak on Maman Khan? Why are you? No, why are you running away from this debate?
We can't debate.
Why are you running away from this debate?
Okay, Rajiv ji, your voice has to be. He's naming a specifically person called Mohammad Khan, saying the local legislator must take responsibility.
Now see, Rajdeep, he does not. He thinks of himself as the judge. Jury.
He's saying Maman Khan must take responsibility as the local legislator.
Now, please let me answer.
Yes.
He thinks of himself as judge, jury, and executioner. Apparently, that's not the case. If there is any evidence, bring it about and out. And if you cannot do that, you should take your statement back because it's defamatory, derogatory, and demeaning. And number two, this is just another diversionary tactic of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Manipur happened, they talked of Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan. Haryana happened, they're talking of the opposition. Never would they ever admit their fault and act upon it. Number two, they have no answers. They have no answers to the question.
At least in 30
minutes,
you
have an answer.
Thank you. Finish up, Arshdeep.
Thank you. The BJP spokesperson has no answer to the questions as to why did the intelligence inputs were ignored. Why did the conditions of conditions of conflict that were simmering ignored? Did they not know that if the accused would be taken to know, an untoward incident could happen? Despite that, nothing was done by them. No concrete steps were taken by them. Rapid action force was not deployed by them. And when everything happens due to the fault of the Bharatiya Janata Party's state government, they would want to blame other people. This is the tactic of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Whenever they fail, they don't admit. They indulge in blame game.
Okay, interesting. We do not want. We want to see accountability. The Haryana government is clearly on test now. Passing the buck simply will not do. Law and order is a state subject. Our videos clearly show mobs involved in the violence as well as sword-carrying members of the Bajrang Dal also on the ground. Neither is acceptable. Let me make that clear once again. We will question both on this issue. Whoever is provoking violence, unacceptable simply. And I hope our political class will act against them. The Haryana government of Khattar will be judged on this. I appreciate my guests joining me. The worry, of course, is it's not just restricted to Nu. Gurugram is the millennial city. But parts of Gurugram remain tense because the communal violence ripples that broke out in Nu are being felt in parts of the millennial city. Migrant workers from both communities now are packing their bags, especially Muslims, and locking up their homes, fearing retaliatory violence. Tonight's report from Milan Sharma.
India's millennium city with the third highest per capita income in India is feeling the heat from the communal flames lit in Nu. Gurugram, one of India's richest cities, is facing an exodus of its working class. Security guards, food delivery boys, cooks, maids in high-rise residential societies, migrant workers are leaving in droves. Litan Ali and his family are returning to West Bengal, from where he came to work as a driver here.
मैं तो एक खुद ड्राइवर हूँ मैम। मैं अपनी मैडम साहब को दिल्ली छोड़ने जाता हूँ फिर आता हूँ। अब मैं अगर गांव चला गया तो मैडम साहब की बहुत दिक्कत हो जाएगी। मेरी साहब है हाई कोर्ट का वकील है, उसकी दिक्कत हो जाएगी। जब तक माहौल ठंडा ना हो तब तक कोई नहीं आने वाला है। सब कोई अपना अपना कुछ भी नहीं लेके गया मैम। इधर धमकी दे रहा है कि हम जला देंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे।
Many of them claim they were assaulted and now they fear for their lives.
जैसे आ रहा था तो आदमी पकड़ के मारा, तो क्या करेंगे?
The fear is not limited to Muslims. Hindus are also packing their bags.
कुछ ये दिक्कत है कि माने सब लोग निकल गए, हम क्या करेंगे? पानी मिलेगा नहीं, लाइट मिलेगी नहीं, हम क्या करेंगे?
अच्छा,
हाँ,
इसलिए आप रूम चेंज कर?
जी जी।
तो यहाँ पे रहना सुरक्षित भी है इस वक्त?
नहीं, यहाँ तो कोई सुरक्षित नहीं है, हम बताए। कोई घटना हो जाए क्या होगी सुरक्षित, हम बताइए आप।
और परिवार आपका? मेरा परिवार,
मैं झांसी का रहने वाला हूँ, मैं प्रॉपर झांसी का रहने वाला हूँ, परिवार मेरा गांव में, हम बताए।
Close to 200 to 300 people who lived in this 1,000-strong colony in Sector 70 have now fled for safety. Most of them going back to West Bengal, where they came from, fearing violence in the entire area. This is the aftermath of the violence in Nu and Mewat, where communities such as these are facing the brunt of whatever transpired in Mewat.
The family that used to live in this locked home has now moved to Aligarh, according to neighbors. Muslim businessmen in Sheetla colony in Sector 5 have also fled.
गुड़गांव में एक डर का माहौल है, कुछ लोग अपना आप को और सुरक्षित महसूस कर रहे हैं और जगह जगह कुछ लोगों को टारगेट भी किया जा रहा है। कुछ लोग हैं जो भाईचारा खराब करना चाहते हैं और हमारी कॉलोनी में 80% लोग अपने घर जा चुके या कहीं रिश्तेदारी में शिफ्ट हो गए।
The police are on alert in Gurugram. The Gurugram administration assures citizens situation is under control and there is no need to fear.
There are no major incident in Gurugram except the Sector 57 incident. तो उनको बिल्कुल डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। प्रशासन अपना काम सख्ती से कर रहा है, नॉर्मलसी रिस्टोर हो रही है। जो लोग छोड़ के चले गए हैं, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट देम कि वो वापस आएं और वो सिचुएशन जैसी इन दंगों से पहले थी वैसे की वैसी जो है हो भी गई है, जल्दी हो भी जाएगी।
The violence that spread from Nu has hit the Gurugram's image. There are no winners in the cycle of hate. The Millennium City is learning the lesson the hard way. Or is it?
Ahead of Friday, of course, there is a palpable sense of fear within the Muslim community as well. And such colonies, they are not gated. So they require additional police protection in case something goes wrong. And which is why a lot of people have now decided to leave this particular area for safer zones, because unless that happens, the people are not going to feel safe enough. With Shailendra from Gurugram, Milan Sharma for India Today.
Let's turn from there, and that is a troubling story once again, to the big other political face-off that took place in Parliament today over the contentious Delhi Services Bill that will effectively give the centre overarching powers over the appointment and transfer of bureaucrats. Today, Home Minister Amit Shah, while tabling the bill, lashed out at the AAP, accusing the AAP of selectively interpreting the Supreme Court's decision and defending the government's decision to go ahead, the centre's decision to go ahead with this ordinance. He said that at no stage had Delhi been promised full statehood. The bill was passed in the Lok Sabha, will now go to the Rajya Sabha on Monday. Listen in to the two sides.
239 AA3B बहुत स्पष्ट है। इसके तहत इस संसद को दिल्ली संघ राज्य क्षेत्र या इसके किसी भी भाग के बारे में उससे संबंधित किसी भी विषय पर कानून बनाने का पूर्ण अधिकार प्राप्त है। पट्टाभी सीतारामैया समिति की सिफारिश जब सदन के सामने आई, तब पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी, श्रीमान सरदार पटेल, राजा जी, राजेंद्र प्रसाद और डॉक्टर अंबेडकर जैसे नेताओं ने इसका विरोध किया कि ये उचित नहीं होगा कि दिल्ली को पूर्ण राज्य का दर्जा दिया जाए।
सदन में आए तो अच्छा लग रहे थे कि हमारे अमित शाह जी बार बार जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी को और कांग्रेस पार्टी को तारीफ कर रहे थे। मैंने सोचा क्या देख रहे हैं भाई, ये दिन है या रात है। मैं तो सोचा कि दौड़ के जाए और अमित शाह की मुंह में शक्कर शहद डाले, क्योंकि अमित शाह की मुंह से नेहरू जी की तारीफ, कांग्रेस की तारीफ बकाई
ये मेरे लिए बड़ा अच्छा लगे। मैंने पंडित नेहरू जी ने तारीफ नहीं करी है, मैंने जो पंडित नेहरू जी ने कहा वो कोट अनकोट कहा है, उसको तारीफ मानना है तो मुझे कोई आपत्ति नहीं है। 2015 में यहाँ स्थिति बदली और यहाँ एक ऐसे दल की सरकार आई जिसका मकसद, मुझे कोई झिझक नहीं है कहने में, जिसका मकसद सेवा करना है ही नहीं, झगड़ा करना।
Strong words there from Home Minister Shah. Delhi government to be rendered powerless is my big question. Has the centre now virtually ensured that the Delhi government is going to be powerless, win in the Rajya Sabha assured? But will the law pass judicial scrutiny? Our other political face-off has Reena Gupta, the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, and RP Singh, the BJP spokesperson. Reena Gupta, do you concede that Home Minister Amit Shah has scored over you? He has managed to ensure that effectively this ordinance will now become law on Monday, and the entire control of transfer and appointments will essentially be in the hands of the LG and the centre. The Chief Minister will have a minimal role. Is that rendering your government powerless?
Rajdeep, one thing is clear today, that Mr. Modi is the biggest coward that has ever ruled our country. When he could not win the hearts of people for 25 years, he goes around and does this backdoor entry by introducing this bill in the parliament. Not only is Mr. Modi a liar, he is a cheater, because his own guru, Lal Krishna Advani ji, actually brought out a bill in 2003 to give full statehood to Delhi. Mr. Modi himself in 2014 promised full statehood to Delhi, and Sahib Singh Verma, Lal Krishna Advani, Madan Lal Khurana, all of these so-called stalwarts of BJP have talked about full statehood. All their manifestos in the 70s and 80s have talked about full statehood to Delhi. So everything was fine till 2015. It is after 2015 when Mr. Kejriwal won a huge, unprecedented mandate, and Bharatiya Janata Party realized that they will never be able to win any elections in Delhi in the near foreseeable future, that they've come out with this bill, Rajdeep. But I have no doubt in my mind it's an unconstitutional bill, and it will not face the scrutiny of the Supreme Court.
Okay,
but the true face of Bharatiya Janata Party Mr. Modi saying 56 inch ka seena, that is clear in front of the country, that there is no 56 inch ka seena over there. There is a coward out there who's trying to rule Delhi through the back door.
Okay, you've used a lot of strong words, coward, liar. I think RP Singh deserves to give a full response. But RP Singh, from my perspective, the question is full statehood. I distinctly recall the BJP at various times in the last 20 years promising that they would give Delhi full statehood. They had made it a campaign plan. The likes of Sahib Singh Verma, Madan Lal Khurana often spoke about it. Now, today in Parliament, the Home Minister says statehood should never be given to Delhi. It was never on the agenda at all. And he quoted Jawaharlal Nehru. So has the BJP changed its mind simply because you want to put Arvind Kejriwal in the dock? If there was a BJP government in Delhi, you might have changed the rules.
Rajdeep, your both side questions are loaded. I mean, you asked a particular loaded style question to Dina and to me also. Thank you for that. But coming to the issue, I mean, I thought you have a cricket background and you are very fond of cricket. You would have spoken about this semi-final thing which Mr. Kejriwal has been repeating again and again. This is our semi-final before the election. And I never thought that on a single pitch there can two teams who can play together on a semi-final. One trying to get this bill, try to solve this bill, and other one trying to bring vote of no confidence, and then trying to play over each other. I mean, because since this party, Aam Aadmi Party, brought the this pitch against the ordinance, and then so to beat them out, the Congress Party got into vote of no confidence. This is the political part. But coming to the technical part, sir, go by the Supreme Court order. The Supreme Court order categorically states that centre can bring changes in the law. Section 239 AA 3B categorically states that. I mean, they don't want to read the law.
No. 1 minute. Let RP Singh respond to my question first. RP Singh, the question I asked you is basically, has the BJP changed its stand now on statehood for Delhi? Essentially saying Delhi can never get full statehood, it will be controlled by the center.
Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, in this Delhi, it never happened before. A chief secretary was called at home and was thrashed by the political party members. I'm not naming any, but he was thrashed in front of the chief minister itself. And then he is on record stating that, and there's a case which is going on. We have never seen that person who was investigating the liquor scam and then who was investigating the Sheesh Mahal or Hawa Mahal or Raj Mahal was transferred because he was doing so. And then we have never seen that 2 o'clock at night that the doors of the office are open and then files are either tempered or they are photocopied or they are torn, whatever. I mean, we don't know what happened. That is under investigation still. So have you ever seen this sort of thing? Or you have ever seen that a minister calls his staff, I'm naming...
Can I come in, please?
No, he must finish.
Not there. They interrupted her when she was accused.
Ma'am, let him finish. RP Singh, please finish. Please finish though now.
So, there's a gentleman named Ashish Moore, Kiran Singh, Shurveer Singh, all bureaucrats who has put written complaint that they have been threatened by the ministers to follow the diktat of the minister, even though not as per the law.
Okay.
We never seen, give me another second, please, Rajiv. We never seen a backdate clearances given for things which have been done 6 months back or a year back. Backdate clearances have been asked for the bureaucrat. I mean, how do you expect system to run?
Okay, you made your point there. Let Reena Gupta have a final word. Reena Gupta, the word that I want from you is the reason that the Home Minister gave for this ordinance, he said, was the Delhi government was creating a confrontational situation that was making it impossible to govern Delhi. That was essentially what Amit Shah was saying. That you can't have a situation where a government seems to be, according to him, taking on the center and thereby preventing the center from actually functioning or Delhi from functioning.
Mr. Amit Shah should go out on the streets of Delhi. Even a child will tell you what a marvelous work Kejriwal government has done in the last 7-8 years. And it is very unfortunate today that we have such a vindictive government in the center that is not allowing. We have the most vindictive government in the center that is not allowing us to even implement our basic programs on Mohalla Clinic. Arey chup ho jaiye Singh Saab. So that is not even allowing us to run our Mohalla clinics. This is the most vindictive government that is not allowing us to pay the salaries of doctors. They are not able to match the good work of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal.
Right.
There was no other reason for such a U-turn. Know that Delhi people do not want Bharatiya Janata Party. You have lost every election that you've contested since the time Aam Aadmi Party government came to power in Delhi, and you see no other way out.
Okay.
All the Chutbaiya netas of Delhi have no future. The Chutbaiya Bharatiya Janata Party netas of Delhi. And since Mr. RP Singh brought about cricket, one last point I would want to make, Rajiv. You know, when you have a Gali Mohalla cricket and the team is losing, they want to basically say कि बैट बॉल लेके हम भाग जाएंगे क्योंकि हम जीत नहीं सकते. This is what Bharatiya Janata Party has done today.
All 7 of them.
ये किया इन लोगों ने आज. अगर हिम्मत है तो दिल्ली में चुनाव.
Time out. I have limited time on the program and I don't want to waste it in this way. Okay, let's leave it there. These are tough times. We had limited time. We'll try and come back and do a fuller debate on the Delhi Services Bill and its impact. But I appreciate RP Singh and Reena Gupta joining me. Clearly, Delhi remains in confrontational mode. We're going to take a break. When we return, we're going to return to Manipur. That's right, Manipur is still boiling. Flesh crashes have erupted, this time between forces and Meitei protesters. Our reporter was there on the ground. We'll tell you more when we return.
But all of a sudden there are several tear shells fired. Now even the police is retaliating. The Assam Rifles has asked to charge them. We have to run from this area. Massive tear shells being fired. The police is... India Today is at ground zero in Torbang, and the situation is so vulnerable. Simultaneously, there is accusation of using sophisticated weapons, but these young boys risking their lives and using these single barrel gun and double barrel gun.
We love our land and our village, that's why we sacrifice our life.
No one could ever imagine that in a state, in the same country, in the same district, we will ever see such situation which has become a battlefield. And I could say this is a war zone in Manipur.
Grounded in journalism, on the ground reporting, only on India Today TV. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You're watching the news today. Let's turn to Manipur, where fresh clashes have erupted in Bishnupur district between Imphal and the hill areas, where Meitei protesters tried to breach the buffer zone that has been set between the Meitei and the Kuki community. Security forces had to resort to firing in the air, use tear gas. India Today's Ashutosh Mishra was on ground zero when this happened. Take a look.
The police is retaliating. Tear shells, look at this. There's a massive confrontation taking place here. The bullets being fired.
For 3 months, Manipur has been on the brink. India Today journalists Ashutosh Mishra and cameraman Sanjay Kumar on Thursday witnessed firsthand how tenuous the deceptive calm on the ground is.
Massive showdown in the conflict areas of Manipur. We are in Bishnupur, and this is where the buffer zone begins. As the ITLF announced mass burial of the Kukis died in the conflict, these Meitei women and the entire community opposing the burial, saying this cannot be done in the Meitei land or the government land. And here is the buffer zone, because there is a massive movement of the community, including the Myra Pipesi women. The Assam Rifles have literally put out a Casper van on the road and blocking both sides and avoiding any confrontation. There you see the Indian Army, Assam Rifles, Rapid Action Forces, and these women have literally come to the bunker area. Now, if I could take you the other side, how the other side looks across the buffer zone from here. These women are even asking the army personnel not make videos. So other side, the Casper van, this is a very long buffer zone has been drawn to avoid confrontation. But the Meitei accuses that the Kukis, heavily armed, have taken shelter in nearby bunkers, and that's exactly why you see this massive deployment of the armed forces has been done in this region. So not only the police person, not only the state commandos, but also the village defense forces.
Hundreds of people belonging to Meitei community tried to breach the buffer zone created by security forces in Bishnupur. Clashes erupted when the security forces stopped them.
More than 50,000 people are still there in relief camps. They have lost their houses. All the students are losing their academic career. Only one single piece of cloth. They are coming in relief camp. They're also not for 1 month, not for 2 months. It's already 3 months.
But this area continue to be a volatile zone. There is often firing reported. Will it be safe for you to stay here?
If it is safe or not, we are ready to face anything now, because we have already waited for 3-4 months waiting for the state government and Indian government to solve the problem. But how many days, how many months still we have to wait for that? We are not able to bear this, because our state government and they all making the drones and all, we are watching that. The Kuki are coming freely to our land, but we are not even allowed to enter to our own houses. What is this? Is the Kuki the Indians, or is Manipuri? We are immigrants. We want to ask this.
The security forces used chili spray and tear gas. And when that did not work, opened fire in the air to contain trouble.
tear shells being, look at this number of the massive confrontation taking place here. The bullets being fired. This is the massive confrontation taking place. Stone pelting. This is भारी भरकम गोलीबारी हो रही है और इस आर्मर्ड गाड़ी के पीछे हम रुके हुए हैं. गोलियां चल रही है इस समय यहाँ पे. दरअसल कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश की जा रही है. जैसे क्लैश बढ़ा, रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स ने महिलाओं को पीछे करने की कोशिश की और यहाँ पे देखिए पुलिस की गोलीबारी हो रही है.
The security forces have created buffer zones separating the Meiteis and Kuki-Zomi communities.
As the confrontation takes place, we have been advised to evacuate this area. Mostly the civilians who are unarmed have been asked to go to the safer places. The women, those who were injured, were taken to the hospital in the massive confrontation. And now it is the defense forces and the state forces are heading further to the conflict areas. And we've been asked to leave and quickly evacuate this area who are totally unarmed.
The face-off on Thursday is a grim reminder of the deep divide in Manipur. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, clashes between Meiteis and Kuki-Zomi communities continue in Manipur. Amidst all the tension, 7 football players from Meitei and Kuki communities left Manipur together to pursue their passion and love for football. Kolkata's Mohammedan Sports Club gave them shelter. Tonight's good news story comes from Kolkata. May sport do what politics cannot, build bridges. You stay well, stay safe. Good night, Shubhratri, Jai Hind, Namaskar.
Meiteis and Kuki-Zomis are at daggers drawn in Manipur. But these footballers from the two communities share the same room and play together. They left Manipur together to pursue their love for the beautiful game. While they are tense about their family's safety, they are gearing up for the upcoming football season in Kolkata.
Right now they are in safe, but still the danger is on. My father is in frontline duty. So he is protecting the village and my family. In professional life ये सबको कोप अप लेके सबको लेके चलना है, तो हम लोग ट्राई करता है कि जब ग्राउंड में रहेगा पूरा फुल फोकस करने का, फिर ग्राउंड के बाद फिर बात करता है. सरकार अगर शुरू से ही स्ट्रिक्ट होता या ऐसे कुछ होता तो अब तक पीस हो जाता. तो अभी यही है कि जो भी जिसने भी कुछ क्राइम किया वो सबको सरकार की तरफ से देखना चाहिए लीगली, और सब दोनों कम्युनिटी का बीच में पीस वापस आना चाहिए.
The players are hoping Manipur is back to normal soon.
मैं तो ये न्यूज़ सुन के बहुत थक चुका हूँ. Cookies killing Meiteis and Meiteis killing cookies, but I really can't do nothing. So I just pray कि ये जल्दी खत्म हो जाए और पहले का जैसा नॉर्मल लाइफ में आए. फुटबॉल तो खत्म हो गया है. अभी सब खत्म हो गया है. कुछ नहीं हो सकता. अभी थोड़ा सेफ हूँ.
Out of 7 footballers are playing for the Kolkata club, that is Mohammedan Sporting Club. And Mohammedan Sporting Club has given shelters to all the 7 footballers and also promised to give shelters to their families as well. As well, they have also promised the other footballers who are from Manipur to give shelters to them and their families.
We have already offered all the players, those who are from Manipur. They are mentally stressed. They are not.
They cannot focus
on matches and all. They are actually demoralizing most of the time. So most of the time we are coming over. Like today we have come over here to motivate them. We can support them from outside only. We cannot go and play inside the ground. Play your game. Focus on your target.
There is no divide that cannot be bridged. This camaraderie between these footballers is a lesson for Manipur. With Anirban Sinha Roy, Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Good evening, viewers. Let's take a look at the weather report across the major cities this evening. Thiruvananthapuram is at 30 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 57. Mumbai is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 74. Panji is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 33. Ahmedabad is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 70. Bhopal is at 24 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 24. Jaipur is at 33 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 88. Delhi is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 117. Srinagar is at 30 degrees Celsius with AQI being 55. Lucknow is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 59. Patna is at 33 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 49. Kolkata is at 31 degrees with an AQI of 45. Hyderabad is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 30. Bangalore is at 30 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 27. Chennai is at 36 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 29. This is all we have for you in this segment. Hope wherever you are, you find favorable weather around you. Keep watching India Today for all the weather updates with me AI Sana all through the day.
Co-powered by the new Kia Seltos, the badass reborn. Extra safe polycab green wire.
पुलिस कर क्या रही है? पुलिस का ये क्लियर करा दिया.
No place to hide, even inside a temple. Mob raises Pakistan Zindabad slogans according to the FIR. Pakistan-based support for Nuh rioters.
जो ये नारा लगाने अल्लाहु अकबर यकीन कर यासु तो भाई सीना में चौड़ो होगा हमारा सही अब पता लग रहा कि म्यों होता
Firing from the hills, police take aim but hesitate to open fire.
पहाड़ों में करा रहे हैं ये देखो कितने हैं.
Videos that expose the truth of the Nuh riots. New Pakistan Zindabad slogans expose the Nuh rioters. That's our top focus on India First. The FIR clearly says Pakistan Zindabad slogans were raised. Police claim that the riots were planned, meticulously planned. Past 3 years, the yatra was peaceful. This time, the yatris were targeted by a mob that